Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. Grand stretch in the evenings.
Oh, aye, deadly. I actually look forward to that because see every October, see once Halloween comes, like my missus loves Halloween. I fucking hate Halloween because every Halloween it's always really, really dark. It's always raining. It's always shite. And then the next thing, the clocks go back, and you're just like, oh yeah, 1 hour in bed, and then it's just fucking 6 months of impending darkness.
It's pure dung, isn't it?
It is shite. And then you're standing out in the shed, and it's like, or you're driving home from work, and it's like 4 p.m. and it's pitch
dark.
black.
Yeah.
You go to work.
Well, not quite 4 p.m, but 5 p.m. anyway. Yeah.
You go to work. Well, actually, I worked 5 as well. I don't know why I said 4 p.m.
You would leave work early, would you?
No, to be fair, I wouldn't. And
To be fair, you could work from home like at the same time, you know.
could do. John, if you're
that.
listening, please don't sack me.
No, Michael, you're meant to be in your laptop at 4 p.m.
Joe, I could just edit this out so I wouldn't hear it at all, but like, where's the fun in that?
Well, that's true. Why would you not put any detriment to your job or your position in the company?
Living life in hard mode. But it's like, yeah, like, so like you're driving to work in the darkness and you drive home from work in the darkness, and when you sit in an office, like, it's shite, and if you're outside, it's cold and wet and windy. So it's also shite.
Whereas for me, now whenever the clock changes, it'll be like you wake up in the morning, it'll be fairly like, it'll be like sort of dusky sort of, and then whereas now at the minute I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's daytime,
yeah,
type of thing, you know, because obviously whenever the clock goes back there, that's right, it does go back in there,
goes forward. We lose her.
Oh,
but when we lose her, it gets darker in the mornings again briefly.
Aye,
but it gets like, you obviously get that hour of daylight in the evening, which I would rather have.
Woohoo, happy days, because you're fit to still daylight whenever you finish milking.
Yes.
Because that's whenever, like, any time, you know, during when it comes up to like May time, June time, you're finished milking and you have like a new lease of life to go and do something.
100%.
Or to come here and watch you doing something.
This is always the case. But it's like, it's one of them things where you're kind of like looking at it and going like, pardon me, like last summer I was like, I'm getting nothing done at weekends. And then I was like, sure, how am I getting anything done if I don't have the weekends? Because I was just away somewhere like every weekend. Like last year it was like cars, tractor pulling, cars, tractor pulling, cars, tractor pulling. This year's just wedding. But like during the week, like I was hyper productive.
Well, at least, out of curiosity, see for all your weddings, how many suits you had to buy?
Well, this one here I'm going to is a black tie.
Okay, that's one.
So I have to buy a suit for it. Well, going to take the tone down a wee bit. Bought a black suit next, and just bought a diggy bow and one of them fancy waist things you get for black tie events, and it looks grand. The sad thing is I haven't like my old black suit. Well, it's fucked. So the sad thing about this day and age is you'll wear a black suit again. So it's worth buying instead of renting, because this is a black tie wedding. So that's where it's at. And I have my Old Faithful purple suit that I've wore to like every wedding for like the last year and a bit probably. And then obviously I have to fund my own suits for the wedding, which is going to be good crack.
Good man.
So you get a suit of it, like, so you're doing well. I mean,
well, it's like anything.
You better fucking buy me one back. Do you know what? If you don't,
it's one of those things.
You're just like strategically not inviting me to be a groomsman. It's like, were you going to bring Michael? I was, but then I had to buy him a suit.
Well, like there at the minute, I'm trying to lose a bit of insulation, right, with a bit of the Kingspan around myself.
Yeah.
So like I'm like putting off going to even try on or anything.
Yeah, fair.
To later on.
Yeah.
And now that you've told me what you've told me this evening, I'm like, thank fuck.
Because that's assuming I can get the colour, which hopefully I can. Will we start the podcast?
Huh?
Will we start the podcast?
I suppose we will. Hold on a wee minute here till I remember what I have to say. Hello everyone, what's crack with you? You're listening to the I Agree Automotive podcast by Limited Slip Differences, where we chat all things cars to cows, everything in between and all that crack, you know. I'm Connor.
I thought you were going to say, I'm brain fog. Yeah, and I'm Michael. What's the crack, folks? How are we?
We're in episode
57. I told you that before we started. I don't know why anyone's even surprised. Like, we've all forgot this. Yeah, episode 57. Last episode was obviously episode 56.
It was, yes.
Because
Hi, right, so
that's how numerical order works.
Yes,
that's a complete rip-off from the
I
Reload podcast.
think maybe in episode 56 I said, probably whenever I'm sitting down here and whatever amount of times, whenever obviously we're recording next episode, I'll be able to be like, yeah, no, listen to it.
You have listened to a bit of it, have you?
No, I did listen to, because it's alright listening to the raw footage, but or the raw audio, but it's nice whenever you've edited it and I can listen.
You don't hear the riff-raff. To be fair, there's a lot of things that me and you say in the raw footage, though, that is absolutely fucking hilarious, but we can't put it in because we get cancelled. Or we've went off on a tangent and ended up yarning about something or someone in particular.
Sure, whenever it's raw footage, I say, and then I say that, and then I say this, and then I say...
Yep. And it's like, yeah, fuck, I
all
have
the
to
thing
edit
on my head was going, whenever you would edit that, all you hear is beep, 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 beep.
I think I did edit it once. It was Scotty Ferno, and he said it, and I was like, I'm not cutting it out because I wasn't going to ask him to retell the story, so I just beeped it. And somehow that podcast, I don't know whether YouTube knew or something, but that podcast actually has like a mark against it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, most of our podcasts are good for... some podcasts that have, like, that I would expect maybe would be flagged aren't flagged, and then like the one about Adam LZ, it's flagged as well. Huh? LZ Fest is flagged.
How?
You tell me, because I have no idea why.
You're asking me, and I'm just asking you right back.
I have no idea how it's flagged. Like the Scotty Ferno one, I get it maybe, but then Donkey 262 isn't flagged. So,
but then again,
but the one with Vicky is. So
what?
Yeah.
With no disrespect to Robert, like, probably doesn't understand him.
Safe for viewing.
It takes an audience, a certain audience, to be able to understand what he's saying. But no, listen to it back, and hey, it was.
He's so funny. He's so fucking funny.
Like it was class crack, and then the whole. Obviously, you told me what way you were editing that, and all your dun dun dun, and then it's the way he looks at it, he's like, you just do this
natural.
here.
And he goes, if you want to get fucking technical, I'll get technical.
And then he looks at the camera like this here, and then
he goes, we're going to get sexy in this, and then the next thing I was like, oh, we need to do the TikTok. He goes, the first thing you do is spit on it. And I was like, by this stage, I could barely stay in my seat. You were just laughing. Like, I'm fixing my hair again. I was sitting, I was laughing that hard, and then the fact that we were in Falvey's shed as well, like, it was just.
Well, you were in Falvey's shed. I was not in Falvey's shed.
The fact that, like, just as I said, like in that last podcast, and I've said it time and time again, it would have been great to have had you there.
To be honest with you, it's funny. I was showing Gemma, the singing bit on it.
Which one? His or mine?
Where the fuck did you pull the singing voice out of that?
I've been able to sing for years. I just don't, because when I was younger I got quite badly bullied. And
but now you're older.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, whenever I was younger, like, people would have been like,
you could have been like Michael Scully-tastic.
Yeah, but it's the same with the fiddle, like, to be honest,
I don't know what obviously Justin Bieber people were believers, but I don't know what yours would be. Scully-tastics.
Scully-tastics. I think of another word that goes along with it. You're a dick. That's going to get us cancelled. I have to edit that out now.
Just bleep it.
Okay, fair enough.
All people hear is
I think people will be able to put 2 and 2 together now. One on YouTube's going to mark us again.
What do you call Michael's followers? Scully's. Sorry, Scully's.
It's more editing for me. Ball bag. For those who don't know the reference to this, whenever I was like, I should wear a hat so I don't play on my hair. Whenever I was,
but 5 years ago,
no, it was more than that.
More, was it?
Oh, I was like when I was 21.
Fuck away.
Yeah, so 10 years ago.
You had some neck on you to be putting that as your,
Scully-tastic. Aye, but sure, whenever I had the 207, I had a wee bit of an ego. I would have thought, like, because I had, like, at the time, I had like 1,000 followers on Instagram, thought this was massive. And, it just, I hadn't, like, Well, actually, I think between the 207 and I mean, I changed my name from like just 207, Stance 207, blah blah blah, all this here, and then I just
that grey 207.
I don't think it was one. I don't think it ever was
I went to that blue polo.
I know you did.
And then I went to static polo.
Yep,
me
static
with a polo
as well. And yeah, there was quite a few of them, and then I think I changed it to Scully-tastic, and then everyone was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I goes, "I don't know. I thought it was funny," and everyone was like, "Okay, pity, like just a pity." Like, and then
someone tells me my first Bebo name. Because you know the way your Bebo name is slightly different. I think it was Convet, and I see, thinking back to that.
I think mine was Mickey S, but it was like S, capital S, small s, capital S, or something like that. I'm not even a Mickey.
to be fair though, like, would English folk not know you as Mike?
No, well, a couple of them, mainly West Corkians, Jeremy Holland, looking at you.
That's right, aye.
Like, and not even just that, it just seems to be anyone from down there. Like, whenever I was working in Dublin, one of the contracts managers was a fella from Kerry, and it was, "Alright, Mike, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm not even a Mike, but you can call me whatever the fuck you want because I love your accents."
Because they're so Scully-tastic.
Like, you could go to me, like someone from West Cork, go, "You're nothing but a cunt," and I'd just go, "Just say that again." Like, I love that. I love that accent. Like,
no, it is.
It's a really nice. It's like a really nice lilt to it. Like, so,
like Jeremy's his Snapchats that he sends are.
Do you ever hear though? Where he lives, they say because where I work, we actually have we have a job on that's like down near them, and they all there's one particular guy, and they all go, "Oh yeah, do you know that? Oh yeah, guy." But they all say that down in that part of West Cork. They all say, so like my boss going like, "Oh yeah, we call him the oh yeah guy," and I'm like, they all say that down there. Like, that's not a. It's like they all go. Are you saying anything to him? It's like, "Oh yeah, Jeremy does it all the time." Like, everything.
Do you know? Oh yeah.
Sure, fuck it. Sure, fuck it.
Oh sure, fuck it, be grand. Be grand.
Yeah, be grand, sure. And it's like, yeah. As we watch a PTO just go.
No, the best I ever seen was, so the Major was on the Harvester.
What a weekend, boys.
Right? So that was grand. She blew the fucking PTO thing. I shipped an eggs.
You're 100% going to get a Snapchat from Jeremy now.
And then that was grand. So he took it off, and he drove the Major around, and basically there's either nothing or flat out with Jeremy. So anyway, drove her flat out down, and next thing the PTO shaft was chilling on the ground, and then broke it again, and then he went, all you hear was, for fuck's sake. 3 minutes here, fuck it be grand, I'd say. Sure, fuck it be grand, I'd say.
He's,
for fuck's sake. or fucking Nathan Maher.
Oh, yeah. I can put that in. I can't even do it. But you know what? Nathan sounds like
his singing voice some different.
Serious.
It's funny. It's like whenever you sing, you just close your eyes. You know.
That's I think I don't know what that's like for him.
That's not slagging, but it seems to be like, you know.
I don't know. I think it's maybe just trying to concentrate on your voice and only your voice only. Like, and I don't know why I said that like 3 times over, but like.
Well, it wouldn't be like you to drag something out.
Nah, but if I don't know. I would feel like if I started staring, say, at the fuel jar over there, like I would be, I would end up sitting looking at it, and then I would feel like I would forget what I was staring at, and I feel like I forget my voice. So if I close my eyes, I can only think about the notes I'm going to hit next.
Aye. I don't sing, and never. Well, to be honest with you, I think I can sing. See if anybody came in, and I would happen to be listening to music through the AirPods in the parlour, and I happen to be singing.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably die.
Away. Do you know, I'll let you into an army secret here.
It's not really a secret if you put it in the pod all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not that many listeners.
No.
Okay, fair enough. But, you know, like, so, you know.
Sure, it would fill this shed, you know, with listeners.
Probably would, to be fair.
Well, there's 3 cars in it, but still, we'd probably fill it, you know.
And that's including the 3 cars. No,
we're big time.
Do you know Kevin Fullerton?
Yes.
Yeah, you know why he is the song Berlin Govan?
Yeah.
Right. I actually did my own. I haven't. He hasn't. I haven't like fully finished it, but actually, I had like started my own version. I was like, if I ever get Kevin on, which I'd still love to do.
Yeah. Great man for the cattle too.
Yeah, it was
No, like the great man for the cattle.
Oh.
We have a brave wing of heifers out of them, you know.
But like I mean, he would have an interesting story for the pod because he's literally right within our like
he'd be really nice to be like, "Gonna buy more heifers."
But he's within our wheelhouse, pardon the pun. Like, you know, he's
I know.
You know, like, so he's prime material. But so he has a song called Berlingo Van, and the way it starts off is like, oh Jesus Christ, so holy fuck, I was cleaning out a shotgun, listen to mock. Like, that's the way he starts. And I had my own I'd start doing my own version where I was like, what if I could like remix that? And it was like, what was it? Jesus Christ, forgive me, please. I was fixing up a fence in Balinese. Like, I was gonna can't go
Funny, not to steal your thunder, but all I can think. So anyway, my random thoughts while milking the cows this evening. So obviously, you know the song "Frozen" is it "Let It Go"? No?
Yes.
So all I could think of was whenever it came into the head, you know, about your remix of Grace. So there's an explicit version of Frozen's
what?
Let It Go,
it's a
right?
Disney song.
Yes, no, but there is an explicit one.
Childhood ruined.
Right.
Frozen didn't even come out when I was a wee, but anyway.
Good show, all the same.
Becca says when she went to see it in the cinema, she thinks she was like the oldest one there, but she was like, I don't even care. I'm a Disney princess at heart.
But all I think of was like an IS-200 or something going fired, and all I used to think of going was like, let it go. and then
this feels very targeted at our other member of the team who's not here right now.
Well, funny. he then actually, you know, came into my head. You know, but
he's gonna be fucking raging when he hears this.
But no. There is. You look it up. Have you actually never heard it?
No.
Can we take a wee, very quick hiatus, and I'll let you
be right back.
So sorry about that there.
Anyway, my life is I'm not quite sure how I feel about the last 3 or 4 minutes of that, but anyway.
For all the over 18 listeners, look up Frozen, I'm a Hoe.
Wow. Yeah.
Michael has been enlightened. The birds and bees have truly came.
If I had less Catholic guilt, I'd probably get away with that. Because I think with Nathan's podcast, I was quite like, there was probably I was a bit more rash, I think, in Nathan's podcast than I normally would be.
Really?
I thought so. Maybe just because it was.
Well, we're talking about your fucking elbow deep in a cow. Trying to grab her cervix.
First thing you do is spit on it. Well, anyway, back in. It's. I did not see that coming at all. Like,
sorry about that. That was
moving on. Swiftly.
Yes, it's only 10 o'clock and we've done nothing.
Yeah, and I still have to do the Sierra for Dubshed. So
that's right, Di. Well, Michael, is there anything new with yourself at all since we were last recording?
So we last recorded probably what?
I don't know.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
Is it?
It would have been. It's normally a Monday night or a Tuesday night. There was a drift day, so that was 4 weeks ago probably.
You were telling everybody about how you slid the car.
That was the last one. No one needs to hear that again. Car has only moved from here down to there since.
Well, at least it moved. Under its own power.
Fixing the gear stick setup, I put in an ARP, BMW ARP, self-centered.
Why a BMW ARP?
Because it's for a BMW box.
Alright, so you have a BMW gearbox?
I have a BMW ZF box in my car. So
which one?
5-speed of 328. I mean, I tell people M3 because it's a 3 litre M3 box, but it's a 325 and 328 is the exact same gearbox.
Oh.
But it's a flex if you say M3.
Oh.
It was a ZF, so good box. Donut Media use the exact same box in their 328, and it's 600 horsepower. What 2J? They didn't change the gearbox, they kept the ZF 5-speed. Man, it got abuse. So after seeing that, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure mine's alright. I would maybe consider doing the gearbox oil in it though. Hasn't been done in a while, so I think I might do that. When? Not sure, but I'll do it at some point.
Might as well, yeah.
And the diff oil too mightn't be a bad idea, because I've Castrol B373 sitting there, like, so mightn't be a bad idea to drain it either.
No.
But main thing I suppose I done was the slurry. I'm going to try and get the video that I have for that, but I still want to try and get the Sierra videos out before that as well. So Someday I'll get it all done. Goodness knows when, but I will at some point. It was so basically. You were here for quite a lot of this, Connor. Decided we'd try and tidy up.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I tend to land down when you're doing things, so I can also join in and talk about it too.
So we done the vacuum pump on my tanker. So first things we took off the front shaft, the gearbox.
Well, you took all off, and I watched you in my good clothes.
Yes.
Which is also very helpful.
Yes. And we took a look and just went, oh. It was literally gunge.
Well, no, you said the vacuum pump was done up in your thing. All the vanes were freely moving.
The vacuum pump at the back end may have been done up. Maybe.
No, well, all the vacuum pump is a lot of wooden vanes.
But there's also the oil pump and all, which definitely wasn't done up.
Aye.
Because, spoiler alert, I broke it and had to put a new one on.
Wouldn't be like you to break anything, Michael.
So it's actually still. I know why there's like a spacer and it's actually still sitting there a wee bit too far. So it's still leaking a wee bit. So I need to I think I'm just going to take the vacuum pump off and turn it round and rebuild it, or not rebuild it, but re-gasket it and put it together fully off the tanker. Now that what the fuck was that?
I don't know.
There's so many people laughing.
No.
Okay, I'm going mental. Shit, that riled me a bit. No, I think now what I'll do...
Well, at least you've lights out so you can see if anybody...
This is true.
Excuse me.
That's definitely a big plus. I think what I'll do is probably take it off now and look at it. But now the slurry's done, I can...
Do the door.
Aye, that's right, that needs done too.
And your other door too.
Yeah, I'll get it at some point. Macro needs done next, actually, to be fair. That's definitely the most important. Yeah. We can maybe talk about that too, actually.
That's right.
Well, I'll get on to that in a minute. So, done up the tanker, fit it, just all new gaskets, redone the oils, put a new oil pump on it because I broke the old oil pump. If anyone wants to know in my Snapchat story why I was going, does anyone know how to weld this? I didn't know, first of all, you could just buy them. They were an off-the-shelf part. So I originally seen that and went, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. And then people were like, you can just buy them. And I was like, right. Didn't know that. Sweet. So that was grand.
But you only learn these things whenever
100%. But when I was younger, I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago, even as recent as that, I'd have been meltdown mode. I'd have been like, oh my God, I am the most useless person ever, blah 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 blah. And genuinely,
see, during the point in time whenever it happens, you're still the same person.
Oh yeah, but no, at least it doesn't affect me as much mentally in the
no, you snap
days.
out of a lot quicker.
Yeah, 100% compared to what I was. A lot of that's actually from watching YouTube and realising that even people like Donut Media and even Drift Games who have big budgets still make fuck ups.
Well, you're always going to make a mistake.
But you're
never going to learn if you don't make mistakes.
This is very true. So there was that, and then finally, so Saturday then I went out and I started. I wanted to mix the tank and started mixing it on the Saturday and realised then that my NC3000 Super Mix was getting very, very warm, really warm. And then I was like, go slacking off the revs. I'm slacking off the revs. All I could hear was shh, and I was like, okay, that's not good. So Monday morning then...
Was it very rattly?
Aye.
Ours has been like that too before.
Aye, but took it down to the workshop, so... brought it down and was like, do you know what, I'll just strip this out and do whatever has to be done, and drained about a quarter of a litre of oil out of it. Bearing in mind there was 5 litres of oil went back in. So it was like, that's not good. So anyway, went up, put the mixer on, mixed the slurry again Monday morning, then got at it, properly mixed it. And that's actually one thing about the tractor that I was quite worried about was when I turboed it, I was like, is it good enough for the slurry mixer? And that's why I'm not that arsed about getting the injector pump done up anytime soon. I'm happy to keep it at 139 horsepower. 136 actually, because I dialed back the pump a wee bit because she was still hanging on after she was dynoed. But anyway, so like I had her running at that, never lifted the hand, just held her at 2000. I know you can rev it out to like 2700 RPM, kept it at 2000. A serious sound off her when she's mixing. It is class. Finished the mixing, didn't get warm at all at the top. No noise off her. I was like, I think of this thing saved. Happy days. And put it back on its side then, the way to take it out of the shed. And the next thing I looked, and it was dripping. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And the input shaft, she was leaking. There must be a seal away at the input shaft. And the reason I never caught on to that last year is because she was parked over the slats. So the oil has dripped out.
Well, at least you have lubricated the slurry.
Yes, there's now oil in the field out there. So
no, there isn't, because you have to dig up all the ground. No, the oil has
magically disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it just made the tanker run better. Freed up the spread plate.
Yes.
Anyway, but that, like after that, got cracking away. And
you should always WD-40 your spread plate before you do any slurry.
Every time. Put the new the new fill point and all on it. Fuck me, you talking about making some difference?
It's not even that there. It's whenever you were doing your tanker, it was that fact of you had the new fill point, the quick hitch or quick attach.
Ah, yes.
Fill point.
That's part of the story.
So anyway, Michael got the quick attach for the pipe to go on the back of the tanker. Oh, it was a great job. And I was like, Michael, this isn't going to work. And you were like, what are you on about? And I was like, no, this isn't going to work because your lever to flick up to open the tanker, well, you had to get a different one before bolt power. But you stuck the other thing up. And you were like, all I have to do is bolt this to the back of the tanker. I was like,
you're like, that's not going to fill. And I was like, why? And you were like, because there's not a valve on it. And I went, oh, aye.
You were like, I was like, she'll fill.
But not for long.
Oh my God. And then you were just like, wow.
It's one of them things where they aren't like. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm comfortable enough to say that I'm.
You can bleep this out as well. You were just like, "Wow, Scully is this?"
You're not joking. Like, I was literally
Please bleep that out.
I was like literally going like looking at it, and I was like, "How am I such a fucking bleeping that out too?" Like how like I was just like, because like I'm at the stage now where I can confidently admit that I'm quite good with my hands, and I get like, don't get me wrong, I'm not incredible, but I'll turn my hand to most things at this stage. And then something like that that's so blindingly obvious and I didn't even notice, and I was just like, and when you pointed it out I was like,
I am dumbfounded.
I was like, what the actual fuck, like how did I miss this?
The other thing was, so then you eventually got, is it a lever valve or something?
Yeah.
Your lever valve. And you were like, I don't like the way this is wild stiff. And I was like, get me WD-40. Sprayed it down. I was in and out, so that looks really bad if you're in camera. And then you're like, you just went, wow.
See, to be fair, if I've never done anything like that before,
it's
like the first time.
No, you have done something like that before. You use Donald's tanker all the time.
I haven't never changed. Well, I changed over the things on my own tanker, but no, I've used Donald's tanker lobes. But like, yeah, I didn't think. I just was like, just didn't think.
To be honest with you, the handy thing is turn the lever.
You're on about turning the lever the other way around.
Down, and it means then
I'll do it at some point. You can hit it up with your hand.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Or even stick insulation tape around the end of it.
So you can literally just go boom.
Aye, because it galvanising me bit,
Aye, can be a wee bit sharp, yeah. So, like, but then, as I say, got out with the tanker, and it was grand. This is the one problem. And I was actually chatting to a lad inside today, he's the same, he's a 6160 Massey. And we were chatting, and he was like, I said, have you only got the one tractor? And he was like, yeah. I was like, this is the same problem I have. So, like, I have one tractor to mix and one tractor to spread. And like towards the tail end of the day, the bottom of the tank was starting to get really thick. If I had like, there's 2 foot still left in my tank. But to be honest, like what I'd really need to do is go and draw on maybe 2 or 3 loads of water and then mix it again. But I was thinking, like, if I had a second tractor,
the
like,
35.
You think so?
Well, what would stop you leaving the mixture in the tank? Leave her down till she's hitting the ground, and try the 35 in the slurry mixture.
The fact that she's like 3 cylinders and
It would open her out.
a minus 35 horsepower. We 35's bravely opened out. She's grand. No, to be fair, I did see it. Do you know what? I actually did see a picture recently of a fella mixing with a 168 on an NC Super Mix. But there's a brave difference between a 168 and a 35 or a 135.
You
like,
could do it for the crack of it, you know.
I'll not sit in the arms. Well, it wouldn't matter
Oh,
once it's in.
it would.
Oh, it wouldn't matter.
All you
anyway.
have to do is put the arms in through, right? And then put the bar in, because the arms have the balls in them, you know.
I suppose the only different bar. Look, well, to be fair, what you could do is literally just like put it on bricks and just drive the fade out and reverse the massey in. You could do that, in fairness. And it would just be lying propped up in the tank, or the mixer just be in the tank, like wee.
Or you could just. The arms will still work with the bar.
Probably. They're different category.
No, they're
They're
not.
like-
But the hole for the balls are different size.
Aye.
But the inside of the balls where the bar goes through are the same size.
You sure?
They have to be, aye.
Oh.
It's
No, because my manure sewer has smaller pins on her compared to like the topper or whatever.
Aye.
Aye. Which means that inner diameter is smaller on the massey. Smaller holes. I'll show you when we go up, honestly. They are different.
I always thought category, say 2 and 3, was just your ball size and outside. You know, category 3 is bigger. Category 3
Maybe
is
it's
bigger.
category 1 then.
Because our wee tractor's category 2, arms on her, and the big tractor's category 3. Which is a bit of pain in the fucking arse.
Then it must be category 1 then, is whatever mine is. The Davy Brown was the same as the Fate though. So she was category 2.
You let go of a good tractor, it could have been mixing the slurry for you.
Yeah, to be fair.
It's even had a loader on it.
Yeah, 995 would have been alright for that. But I would love something else. Like,
I have a Davy Brown at home.
I know, but sure, it's still lying about 1,000 pieces.
Not really, no. But if you could get it to go, you know.
Just a load of easy start. Start, you bastard.
Aye, but
it's one of them things where I was just sitting thinking, like, I was kind of like, you know, I'm sitting here and I could really do a second tractor for like the one time a year you need it. To be honest, I could probably have just borrowed Donald's T5 or his 1990 or something, which would be as handy as anything.
logical.
But I don't like borrowing people's stuff. So, but like that would have been.
As you still have my dump trailer.
It's lying there. I think the digger might still be there too.
Probably is.
Well, you aren't using it, so I haven't used it since.
I'm joking with you.
Yeah,
Michael.
but I haven't used it since. Although, to be fair, I did think I got your other dump trailer. I had it for a couple of weeks. That was quite useful. The wee single axle.
Yeah, true.
But I do love the size of that dump trailer in the back of my
Just
tractor.
looks
The perfect size for it. I think anything bigger is just a bit rash.
Pointless.
And she pulls it the very best. Like
She does.
She can pull it full, and it's not completely killing her.
No,
Bullies her a wee bit.
but it does when I say it. But
Yeah.
like a dump trailer is usually, well, there's stones of that, is a dead load.
Yes, very much
I
so.
would always have said, you know,
Yeah.
when obviously it's a heavy load.
Oh, yeah. No, it's that. It's fully solid, like, so there's no give.
There's a bit of a pantomime putting your gang slat in all the same.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Mary having no brakes.
Me and you thought we were falling out. I wasn't falling out with you at all.
Then don't fucking speak like that to people. Honestly, because it was like, hurry the fuck up, and I was like, you don't tell me to hurry the fuck up. But honestly,
It was the fact of Michael, stay in the thing and I will direct you. You jumped out and you were like, this here, and I was like, just jump in the fucking thing and move it, you know.
There may have cracked a couple of bits putting it in, but it's fine.
Look, it wouldn't go in perfect with being me and you.
Yeah, and also the fact that it was like, Michael, back slowly, and you reverse back with Mary, and you're like, slowly, and I'm like, what do you want me to do here? I have no brakes.
And you were like, I don't want you to fall in. I'm like, I'm not going to fall in.
But if you don't fuck up, you're going in. To be fair, right, jokes aside, that gang slat's
Changed my life.
genuinely really, really good thing to have.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because you can walk around the mixer and change things, whereas beforehand you were like, jumping over stuff and kind of like, don't know where you, and like.
Well, you need it for quality assurance, for the health and safety aspect.
And even
of
for
things.
me, just being on my own, like,
of course,
it's a game changer. Like, it is a great job. We just need to space the slots a wee bit.
I was trying to get you to do that at the time that we put it in.
You sure you had to go?
True, aye. And then I ended up, whenever I did get home, I was just told, you're better getting on the road to go down to Cavan.
But
so I could have stayed here for another like hour and a half or 2 hours. But that's what it is.
That's what it is. Anyway, so yes, Michael's slurry season was.
It actually went alright.
It went alright.
You just have to time whenever you the tanker didn't leak.
No, same. I don't know whether it's just the tanker actually performed really, really well, and it's now got lights on it too, which I am so happy with.
Have you done much spreading at night?
Well, it's not that. It's like the road outside my house is quite a fast road, and with with the other tanker, I would have fear with the magnetic lights falling off because she's kind of like a rounded surface, so I feel like they wouldn't stick. And if that's, as I say, that's quite a fast road, I could, like, whenever I was going to that other time, like out over, we done it at night because I was like, I really don't want to drive over here, but like I was out, I think I spread the feel across the road. As I say, it's like, it's only over the road, but it's a very fast road when you come out of my lane and turn up towards Claddy. And it means I can now flick on the indicator and I'm fine. Like, my ma originally laughed at me whenever I was putting lights in Mary. Now, did I go a wee bit overboard? She didn't need the beacons.
Every time I arrived.
Like, she did not need the beacons. And every time you seen me in Mary, I'd flick on the beacons out of madness. But, like, on the flip side, was putting the rear working lights on her and the light bar in the front, like, and indicators. I put indicators into her. Was that a great job? Absolutely, because you're going up to lift the B at 11 o'clock at night, like, on the road in the fog. It's much safer. Someone can't drive into you and then try to take a claim.
Brakes.
Yes. That's the next thing we really, really need to do. I say we.
You really need to do it. And I will watch you, don't worry.
Well, once the Sarah's done for Dubshed and the tanker's now finished, Mary's coming in April and we'll take a couple of nights at her and get her probably through the radio and maybe put the CB in her just out of pure badness. Like. Have you anything new to report?
So farm-wise, we've should have a good about sort of maybe upwards of a dozen cows coming up near to calve down.
Yes.
We had 2 calve there this morning and yesterday.
Yes.
So we tried a few with fertility straws, which are like a mix of Angus, Hereford, and I can't mind what else. We're getting a mix of Angus and Hereford out of them. Good cow, I have to say, this one good cows. They're overdue by about a week, so whenever it's overdue by a week, the cow's going to be a bit bigger. Normally it would be, but they're coming well. What else in regards to the farm, really? It's just good that we've got the fertiliser mostly out.
That's my
slurries
next
out.
task, fertiliser.
When
are you for doing the rolling?
Try not to roll the ground.
I went stone packing.
Like what we normally do is a few runs around the headland.
I think that's just what I'm going to do with that one right there.
You just end up you're just.
I don't think you really need to do the middle of the field.
Grass.
Yeah, I don't really know if you do need to do the full field, to be fair. I think you're right with that. I agree with your approach.
Yes, don't get me wrong, if ground is badly poached, yes, but you're just...
The field across the road is like, but...
The way I look at things is, the more you tramp on top of the grass, the worse obviously the growth will be, and you'll break the stem. In other regards to the farm, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Just melting away as usual.
What about the Civic?
Oh, fuck yes. So, she's out.
You said about the farm, but like the car as well. You've got the Civic back out, you pulled it out of my shed. Was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? It was the night of the last podcast when we recorded it, you brought it out, didn't you? You drove it home from that?
No, I had it out before then.
Had you out before that?
It's maybe out nearly a month.
Thought it was out 2 weeks. Fuck me, time has flown.
Oh, don't even go there. So, well, she's out.
Did you pull it out before I went drifting?
Oh, aye. So, me and Gemma came here. I drove it home. I can't remember what day it was, but So that was grand. Took her home, and it was like,
You
right,
came down some like random Sunday night, didn't you? That's right. You called into my house in Claddagh and left the keys. That's what it was, yeah.
something along them lines, yes. So anyway, drove the car home. That was grand. I was like, right, we'll get her basically get MOT booked and try and get cancellation, all that crack, and then get her through MOT. Haven't bothered me fucking horse, to be honest with you yet, really. But I sort of blew the cobwebs out of her and to give her a bit of a drive. Took her here. The last time we were actually recording, when I started her to drive home again, the alternator top pulley was noising.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you were
But
sitting
I
here
know-
and we were staring at her, and I was like, "It's your pulleys."
The belt anyway on her was kind of fucked.
You were looking at it really concerned, and I was like, "It's a pulley."
So,
Because I had the same problem with mine. That's how I knew.
oh right.
Yeah.
So
I had 2 pulleys to replace in mine as well.
So two pulleys. So anyway, got her in. 2 pulleys replaced. Alternator belts also done. And then we looked at spark plugs. Turns out when you rev a lot, they're probably going to be fucked. They were fucked. Spark plugs are dear as well. £80 for 4.
Oh, really?
Is that dear? What's yours?
Like £26 for the 4?
Fuck off.
Yeah, like I think like I'm paying like £6 something a plug.
Fuck away off.
Yeah,
What
NG
the-
BCR8ES.
Mine are NG laser iridium ones.
I don't run iridium, so I just run.
I have no idea what that means, but they're
Here's
dear.
like twin spark or copper or any of them things or anything in them.
Does this man look like he knows?
Don't know. Jack runs these weird like twin spark things or something. I just stick with a simple NGK. Code's like 5340 on it.
No idea.
BC8RES, I think's the code.
Because
on mine.
when I went into Fives to get them, I was like, he's like to be fucking dear, and he was like, oh, £80 for the 4, and I was like, fuck.
That's really dear.
That's like RX8 level of dear.
Yeah, that's dear for coil packs, but then not coil packs. Sorry, that's dear for
Spark plugs.
Spark plugs, but
But no, so all, and then got her, drove her over here the night, just again.
on the off chance when you get a chance to drive her, you may as well, kind of thing.
It's more or less just to give her a bit of driving, free everything up. Like whenever she goes to MOT, like she's just going back in the shed.
You say that, but like I think
No, like if all going well, dub shed, she will be washed.
yes.
Hopefully can get a chance to get the inside of her wet vac.
I need to get mine wet vac for dub shit too. Jesus.
The Mugen spoiler on her is began to really feel quite bad. Excuse me. So I'll probably, if it gets any worse, Stevie and paint it black. I'm not really bothered about the
Yeah.
carbon thing on it.
Yeah. There's nothing really on the rest of your car's carbon anyway, so
No, well,
like you've the black, you've a Maxton kit on it, like so.
it genuinely doesn't bother me at
So
all.
I think a black one would nearly suit your car better.
Like, I suppose the next logical thing, if you were going to do anything, would be to map it. But if money
Wheels.
could be used elsewhere, put it that way. So,
Wheels.
no, not even, no, like that.
I still would like to see your body or my body clubs on it.
Maybe someday for a photo, but if there's tyres on them. But
Because you put up that photo there the other night and I seen him on it. I was
That's
like,
fucking
I was
right.
like, Jesus, that actually looks really good.
so, I took a hiatus from social media.
Only for like 8 years.
Well, looks like it was 8 years. So, my Instagram was hacked last October, I think it was.
Yeah, and you only found out like
No, so what happened was I get this pile of message notifications.
Right.
Because I may have turned off notifications from Instagram and certain other apps because it was just a flood of people liking stuff on the podcast page. And then I completely forgot I had done that. So then whenever you were saying, somebody's message, they're looking to know something and they're asking you, I was like, hadn't a clue. But anyway, turned them back on, looked at it and went, why is there a pile of Russian people messaging me? Turns out I had been hacked and had messaged about 90 people in Russia.
ah.
Yes. So immediately went, changed password, not there. But it was a month later I was looking through it and all posts as far back as like, I think the last post was like 2017 maybe?
2015 was it not? Was it not like really far back?
It was Let's Dance show. and it was me and Sean O'Keehan's cars were parked together.
Could have been 2016
That
though.
was 2016, 2017, some along them lines. But anyway, so lost the lane post. Was it really that bothered? Not particularly. Whenever you hadn't really noticed, like, you know, there's no point. So then I took a notion there last week. I went, I better obviously be more active on it. So I was like, handy thing to do would be, you know, the everyday cars, put a post up about them.
Yes.
So like the Polo, found the photo whenever I had, like, me and James Duffin, that was his van, that's his van beside the car.
All right.
That was
yes.
whenever I was going to do my A-levels.
Yes.
That was not today or yesterday.
Jesus, no, it was not.
So that was the only photo I have her, completely standard, not a thing.
James Duffin, by the way, got us this engine table, design crafts, and Facebook and Instagram and
so that photo,
TikTok and everything else.
and then the photo of
Great job.
Conless Sirocco's on her.
That's right.
That was a fun evening. Like, I was like, oh my god, why is my wheel like welded on with the car? And then I combined, James Boyle was like, no, and he took his foot and he just booted it, and it was like, oh, and it fell off at the time, up at the top shed. So the one of the photos is that, and then obviously just
Excuse me.
see, whenever I look back at her, I'm like, how the fuck could I have been arsed? It looks so well.
Yeah, I think that's, why.
But it's just like that. Like, how did they drive it everywhere? But
Because
actually,
you went by shops and looked and seen how low you were and just went, that has given me all the motivation I need to get home.
Yes.
And then every day you drove by a shop, you were just like, deadly. I still do it now in the Sierra. Like,
oh no, I do it in the Type R. Like in Blahy is perfect place.
yeah,
like,
actually, Garva's the best. If you're coming back from Limavady direction.
Actually, no, Newbridge is the best. Past the filling
Yes,
station. That is.
Yeah. I hate that road though because there's so many speed bumps.
I'd be just driving in the middle of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so put a post up from the Polo to the Mark 6, sort of what was done to them, and then to the GTD, and then put a post up with the Type R, and eventually going to get around to doing a post probably of the Parlour from what it was to what it is now, signage over the years, and then probably podcast and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then eventually it'll be like, no, just post a random photo here and there, you know.
Just kind of like what I do.
Because, like, I suppose we never looked at it. From this podcast started, you know, from, like, the amount of ones that, you know, obviously, whenever you're not on the thing a while lot, obviously people give a fuck. But no, just, may as well start to post things.
About time, like, it's only been 2 years.
Yeah. No, it was, like, the last one I think I done was Donegal 2023.
Yeah, it
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was whenever Honda and all was for it. But I've obviously lost that now, so. But so post it on Instagram. That's another big thing for me.
So will we move on to our guest then?
Yes. So turns out we're not the only podcasters in the locality.
No. Turns out if you go about 12 mile over the road, there's a second podcast now started up in Mid Ulster. Also
Jeez, I didn't know it was a dozen mile away. Like,
well, Desert Martin.
Oh, fair enough. Yes. Well,
I maybe shouldn't give away that IP, but big grand.
But anyway, so obviously, if you're listening to this, you're in somewhat way into cars, tractors, farming, car shows, drifting, all the crack. Well, the guest this podcast is Tyree Patton, who's basically started.
She started her own podcast. Gonna edit that.
Podcast.
She has started her own podcast along with Ciara Dugan. Although Tyree would be the main sort of push. Tyree is a Q radio presenter as well.
Oh, really?
Also happens to drive a bagged Mark 6 Golf.
It's a fucking very nice
car.
So
she's kind of within our wheelhouse as well. She didn't know who we were when I first started chatting to her.
You're not supposed to admit that.
Nope. But we can give her a hard touch about it in the morning night. So we haven't the interview with Terry will actually be the morning night. We're just getting the intro done. But no, I think personally SheDrives, a lot of it is obviously it's her and Ciara. It's focused maybe from, I suppose, women living in an automotive world.
And to be fair, I will say one thing. Fair play to Tyree for she's sharing and she's She's doing.
She's pushing it very, very hard.
She's the female side of things, which like we had Taylor on, and fucking Taylor knows a lot more about cars than I do.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Yeah.
And like it's deadly to see somebody obviously promote the female side of things.
Yeah. And it's So to be honest, the fact it's on our doorstep is class. It's kind of one of them things where I would say over time you'll probably see a lot more of us working together. I mean, why wouldn't you? We're up the road, so there'll be a lot more kind of probably merges and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely buzzing, can't wait. So without further ado, here is Tyree on the pod.
I'll tell you one thing. So whenever I was naming the podcast, so obviously whenever I originally did it in uni, I called it One Girl, One Car. There we go. You just got it immediately. And yeah,
No shit,
this is exactly why I did not call it that for the real thing.
Let's go on TikTok.
No shape being messed with here.
That's the best play on words ever. That would have worked. You would have got views for that. Maybe the ones you want.
Yeah,
but
maybe not for the right thing.
Yeah. So we're here now with Tyree Patton. So hello.
Hello.
Tyree is basically literally around the corner from us and has started her own podcast called SheDrives.
Jeez, 12 Mile is around the corner.
Reckon, well, sure, we're all my Ulster here. Didn't even know who we are.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that.
And I am also
Michael, you're just not that famous, right?
I'm so dosed as well.
You are a dose.
That's also, to be fair, very accurate. But so yeah, you started a few episodes in now. I remember whenever you first started, I was like, "Oh, hello," and started annoying you and trying to help out, and now here you are.
I know.
So
now you've brought me to your shed.
You
it's a studio.
I'm sorry.
Don't slaver about our studio. You put a lot of effort into this studio.
Studio in inverted commas. So yeah, we'll jump straight onto it. So SheDrives, you're on episode 4.
We're on 4 now. I think we're going on to 5. So yeah, it's
that's
not
how
for
numbers work. Yeah.
Good start.
You haven't the guest on 5 minutes and you're already trying to fuck her off.
Here, if you're going to do it to me, I'm going to do it back to you.
Good,
just get ready for it.
I'm glad.
But yeah,
she seemed a lot nicer in her podcast.
I know, I'm let
Coming up, the real Tyree Patton. That difference is get down with the no, I just I'm going to edit that out. I'm editing that out. No, I don't like that. But yeah, so you're on to episode 5, or that's the next plan. So yeah,
naturally that's happened.
Oh, fuck up, Connor. So
I can't talk for every time we start. I'm like, what episode are we on now? I told you like 2 seconds ago it was episode 55. Okay.
Well, I suppose we'll get right into the start. So you were kind of telling us about this off air, but where did it all come from? Where was the idea? Where it all?
Well, so I went to uni during COVID times, which is pretty.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It was really shit.
That is terrible.
Like I missed the final year of basically my A levels, and then it was like the first year online, and it was so.
You were the generation that we actually said, "Oh, there's a cow." He even feels bad for you. A cow. She even feels bad for you.
You're a farmer.
We were actually saying like for like your year, like we were like we feel so bad for like the
social life out the door.
Yeah,
it was
the ones,
awful.
The ones coming to like uni now, they're not going to experience like a proper freshers week. And at that stage, we thought like COVID, well, that was us for the rest of our lives. Like we were going to be locked up in the house for.
But like, is uni still now the same? Because like, no offense to anybody that does go to it, but like everybody's just gym, healthy. Trying to be like
you're not joking. See, before, like I kind of did get out for my 18th, but like barely. I mean, I had COVID for my 18th.
Nice,
which
that's
was
a great present.
It was fucking terrible.
Allegedly, were you isolating?
I was.
Oh.
I actually was. I was lying in my bed and I had a fucking monkey cake from Asda.
Oh, fair enough.
Sat down on my lap while I was lying in bed because I was actually pretty sick with it.
Yeah. Did you have the OG COVID? Like at the start, like when because COVID in 2020 was actually kind of scary. Like COVID, if you have it now,
before
it's
you did it and stuff. So did you like? When did you get COVID, or when is your birthday?
12th of February. So I think it would have been 2020.
2020 would have been really, really early.
Even before lockdown.
It must be
lockdown was
2021.
2021 probably.
Yeah.
Because lockdown was
I
March.
can't even remember. Like,
It was a while ago. Like, jokes aside, like, so I'm not surprised, and plus that whole time's just a blur. But
maybe I've got the
Mate.
whole thing wrong.
Possibly 2021.
easy
Yeah,
done.
we'll go 2021
We'll go
then.
2021 then. So yeah, you missed out on all that. Like,
Yeah, I really missed out on that. I've never been to a freshers.
that is tragic.
Like,
Wow.
never.
I know this is supposed to be like an agriculture and automotive
You've
based
not done cheap drink?
podcast,
No.
but like this is the real issue.
I genuinely feel like I totally missed out on that because before,
100%, absolutely.
like before, whenever we went out, like the nightclubs and all, they were packed, absolutely packed, and now there's no one there, and it just feels like I've missed this entire
Yeah.
thing that I've wanted
Yeah.
to do. You know?
Well, like last year,
sucks, like.
last year for my 30th, we were all at Dorman's. So girlfriend Gemma, and she organised a party or whatever for it. But we decided, look, everybody in high spirits will go into the nightclub. We were the only ones in it. You know?
Yep.
Like, and see before, like.
Oh wait a minute.
Years ago, I combined probably the best night I've ever had in Secrets was Teddy Cream was there. No, Teddy Cream were a big deal. I didn't realise I was listening to their music. I was blocked.
Do you know who Teddy Cream is?
I do.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But-
I'm very big into like my trance and stuff as
Oh,
well.
right, like,
But-
well, yeah, bouncy and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
deadly.
I didn't realise that I had been
Love that
listening to
shit.
them for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was blocked, so I didn't actually enjoy them at all. And then realised the following day that I was actually at Teddy Cream and went,
Holy shit!
fuck, I'm a you have to bleep that out.
So much for that. We're supposed to be trying to keep the editing to a minimum. You want to hear how many
I'll do it
times you
again.
said it
So-
last? No, we're rolling with it. You want to hear how many times you said it last night? He just kept saying it in badness just to piss me off. And
But
like, just like you dick.
I like funny, like, so as weird as this is to say, like the eldest niece I would have 21 just passed, and like they were that bored during COVID times. They were coming like down to like my dad's to milk cows because obviously they had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Bar walk the roads. You know, so like I do feel for you.
Thanks.
You
It
know
was
that
really-
would be fucking shite.
It's
It was
like-
a bad time.
But even like, see the ones who like maybe didn't go to uni, like the lads who maybe went out and got a trade, like they would still have come up. Like, you know, there's lads that would done that with us. Like the boy that does Connor silage, like he would have come up to Belfast with us as well, and just in a random like maybe a Tuesday night or something. And like even then, like them boys were still having the best crack because they're like, fuck it, we'll walk up to Belfast for a night or maybe a couple of nights and like be staying wherever, like, and
Because like every night
enjoying that same thing, like.
you obviously like Sunday night, say Hatfield or whatever. Monday night was the Union
Scratch, fly,
or
whatever,
Fly or
Line,
Scratch
Light, all
Mondays.
these.
You'd obviously all them, and then you never really experienced all that.
No, like I've heard of all of it, and I've just never been able to do
But
it.
is it cool even to go to a nightclub anymore? You know, or not that it's cool. It's not really a thing anymore.
Would you do it?
No, like I want to, but I feel so weird whenever I'm in there because there's no one there. Like you're just kind of standing there in a corner, being like, I'm not going on the dance floor whenever there's
Yeah.
literally no one on there. I'm not going to be that person.
No,
I
that
take it it's more now, like so Planet Love or when Ben Nicky goes to Bell Sonic or that.
Yeah.
I take it it's like go to that sort of thing then.
See, I wouldn't even go to Ben Nicky.
you would be missing
Really?
out.
I don't
Really?
really. Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan.
He's deadly
class.
live.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he is deadly live.
He's unreal.
Like,
Did
you've SoundCloud
you two
ticket?
go together?
No. No. But funny enough, we were recording the commentary for a video the following day. And I was
Right.
very hungover. So,
Has it only got
I
a
have
live
not
video,
got
wasn't
an
it?
alcohol problem, but like, you know.
When you go out, like, to enjoy yourself, like.
Yes, I do.
as you would,
Yeah,
like.
whenever you go out, you got to do it the right way.
So you wouldn't go to, like Sabelle Sonic or anything?
No, I mean, I would. I just don't. Ben Nicky never really. Like, I went
But he
to.
would be trancey. And so, well, he's more. I know he plays a lot of hardstyle, which is kind of more what I like. But
Yeah.
It's a very much a mixture, though. Like,
yeah,
it's
he's
sort of
because he would do like Melbourne bounce kind of stuff as well, which
but a
is
bit harder on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think last year we went to Clubland in the SSC and it was I had
That
the
would
best
be-
time
that'd
ever.
be
It was so
class.
much fun. I feel like I was born too
Why
late.
did we not go to that? Why did we not go to Clubland in the SSE?
Why did? Why?
Why didn't we go? There must be
'Cause-
some. No, we would have went to that.
LSD
Roughly
on
when
tour.
was it last year?
I think it was like last May.
Might have been round. Could have been either a Tractor Palm event or Dad's anniversary.
I think there was something.
there would have been
But,
something like.
But even as weird as say this, like where you would go out and socialise now, trance and dance music isn't really a thing anymore.
No,
It's all American country live music,
which is grand.
Yeah.
Like we like that too, but
you know.
It's just not the same feel.
You don't really go out for cocktails as much anymore. It's more like even like women's more so going for pints and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I can just remember like even so like Dorman's as well back in the day, even before like COVID and all, as well as the club itself. I felt like the scene, like the car scene around the town, to kind of somewhat bring it back.
Well,
the car scene was so much better. Like like when your brother, for instance, when Robin's a couple of years older than me, like when Robin would have been going around the town, like he would have been like, it was Wednesday night, you went around Marfelt because Dorman's used to be on a Wednesday, like so it was Wednesday night Dorman's, and then you went out on Saturday, Friday night, Saturday night, and the town was always pumping because there was always so much like activity.
Like, when I turned 18, excuse me, he had Greenvale Sunday, Monday was Clubland, or Sense.
time
Or
as well.
Sense. If you couldn't get in the time, you went to Sense.
But that all got ruined because the police brought the MOT centre out one night, or took everyone to MOT
Tuesday
centre.
was a break, Wednesday was Kelly's,
Yes.
Thursday was Dorman's and the Opera at the time, Friday could have been Kelly's, I think.
Yeah, so
Friday
we
was
would
somewhere
have drove down on
You
Wednesday
literally
night.
every night of the week there was something.
Even
So
so, if we weren't
jealous.
going out, we would have went and drove and sat outside Kelly's, and you would have like, you know, you'd have pulled in with people like you maybe knew from Ballinolly or from Coleraine or from the Port, or like because our friend group's quite like we're all kind of a bit diverse. So, or you could have went to Banbridge. The coach and all was on in Banbridge and all, like, and we could have went out to Banbridge and stuff like that too. You'd have bumped into people who you knew there, like it.
A random question: do you ever lap the town anymore?
Not anymore. I just feel like there's no one really there.
There
See,
isn't.
whenever your
There's
brother would have
nothing.
been lapping the town is when we would have been lapping the town as well.
Yeah.
Like, and like all of Robin's friends also would have would have been in the town around that same time. Like, and it used to be you could have been in Marfelt on like a random Friday night, and the town would have been absolutely rammed. And like the Elk used to be on Sundays, and like that was like the winter, so it was Port during the summer. And
Did
then
you
the
ever
Elk-
experience the Elk on a Sunday?
You
No.
still would have been like, you'd have been first year, second year of school probably. Well, that had been 10 years ago, 12 years ago. 2013 was when we were first at the Elk, like.
Fuck, we are old, isn't it? Aye.
So you might have still been at primary school
No.
I don't know if it was that far back.
12 years ago. She's 23. Do the math.
First
First year.
First year anyway. Like, so if you're taking first years out in your car, that's a
What
bit questionable.
way to
Like,
make you feel like you're an out contact.
yeah, like we are old. Like, but like, yeah, like so back in the day, like,
Not only do I get older, the hair falls out and I'm going grey.
oh, mine's starting to fall out too.
Oh,
Like,
don't worry about it.
I do, but I worry about it a lot, to be quite honest. So, like, anyway, back to your podcast. I'm not me and Connor's midlife crisis going on here. Like.
Or how to be social as well. Like.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you're coming up. You've 4 podcasts out at the minute here, and obviously coming up in the 5th. Have you recorded the 5th yet?
Not yet. I'm supposed to be recording that tomorrow.
I don't know if we covered this, but what is the name of your podcast?
Yeah, SheDrives.
And what's like the aim behind it?
Did I not say at the very start?
I don't think you did.
I think you did, but we didn't get into like what it was.
Well, that's because we went off tangent about 50,000 times.
That's what the viewers want to hear.
Yeah, fair.
I just kind of had this thing where I wanted to start up a podcast kind of specifically for women in the car scene, to kind of give them a platform to talk about like their journey and what they're doing and stuff like that.
And to be fair, like, since we started doing this...
He's a better one at asking questions, by the way.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Cool.
But like, since we started this, even like going to Donegal, and seeing the ones that entered like Queen of the Cone and that, there is a
That is something you
savage
should 100% cover.
amount.
We'll
There's,
get on to that in a bit.
there is a savage amount of girls out there, you know,
See,
with
yeah.
deadly stories.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I didn't think I realized. Like before I started this, I was really worrying about who I was going to get on, and then obviously it went on TikTok and everything, and so many people started following it, and it was people that I had never even heard of before, and I'm like, there's so many people here that, you know, have a story that should be telling it.
Like, there's one of your TikToks did a small bit of research for once to see, so I could actually ask you many questions about it. But like, Imogen Mason, she wrote a comment on it, and she was like, "Oh my god,
I
there's
seen that.
actually
Yeah,
a
I seen
podcast
that.
for girls." And I was like, "Well, Tyree's definitely got her market correct anyway."
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, everyone has been genuinely so nice about it, and I wasn't really sure how it was. Like, I wasn't really sure how it was going to be received, but everyone's just been so nice, and it's kind of caught me off guard.
Well, I mean, it's a nice way to be caught off guard. In fairness, like there is, but honestly, like we've seen, like there's now the Queen of the Cone event. You've got the likes of your Caitlin O'Loughlin's and your Rachel Johnsons, your Vaughn McHugh's, Emma Jane Mason, etc. And there's like even now, like there's ones would follow us through the social media, like when we get into drifting. Like there's the drift couple and all as well. Like there's so many people, and there's people I think who would like. If I was to go and say to them, or if any podcast was to go and say to them, like, you know, they'd go, no, I don't know if I'd really want to ever go on a podcast. But if you were to come and speak to them, like we were talking about this off air as well, like there's people who would just go, yeah, do you know what, I would love to do that, because it's kind of like a
not to put us down, but a girl talking to a girl is so much easier. I would say, obviously.
Yeah, we don't know how to talk to a woman. Like,
No shit.
We have.
I'm joking.
that caught me off. Like, but you like you could. Yeah,
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Well played, well played.
I'm enjoying the banner. I'm enjoying it. But you can like sit down and like chat with someone, and like you can kind of come at it from how they see things. Like obviously, me and Connor at the end of the day, we're still just going to be like, oh, like we respect what you do, bloody blah, and all this here. And we
Or
can
like
say,
your driving was deadly, you know, like what made you go down this route? Whereas you can be like, what's your going out routine before, like, you know,
Yeah.
like
because you
the girly stuff.
And
I am not going to ask her what foundation she uses.
but you did talk about that in episode with Kira, didn't you?
Yeah, we
Like,
talked
you-
about it. She loves getting all glam before
Yeah.
a race, because like the thing with girls, like if you feel good, like if you look good, you instantly feel good.
We should probably take that on board, shouldn't we?
Meanwhile, I arrived here and I was like, I would apologise if I stink of shite. I've just come out of the farm.
So I'm here like, well, about 1,000 tissues, been like trying to sit back from the microphone, so I'm not going. And like,
Darth Vader.
honest to God, there has been times like it's been bad. Like
Oh, I've been bad lately too.
Yeah,
And
like-
it's cringe whenever you hear it through the microphone.
you're
too.
listening to it back, and to be fair, like at the start,
Wouldn't
when-
often listen to myself, but since I've done this here, I tend to.
it was worse at the start before we got these here as well, so the microphone covers. Like you'll obviously know this from the media stuff, but we didn't know this. Like our voices were like so heavily distorted. It was like
If you normally met the two of us, Michael's, you're bound to realise this by now. He's a really chatty person. I'm more reserved.
no.
Never.
Right, fuck up.
Who'd have guessed?
Whereas, like whenever I got to this here, my voice must be deeper. I don't know, but people, whenever they're listening to the earphones, are like, Michael chats, no problem, and then you blow the fucking eardrums off.
Yeah, but you used to sit and fucking lick the mic whenever it first started as well. Like, because you'd be like, is your mic wet? And I was like, no. You're like, all right.
Cheers man, for that.
Like, it was like, just so like, and then there was a way, like, I was turning, because I would be, I'm like, oh, I'm so much louder than Connor, I would turn me down low and turn Connor up a bit higher. And I got that completely wrong as well. So, yeah, like, I think like our episode 3 and episode 4, like I've actually had, there's times I've had to go through, and like at the start whenever I didn't have a clue what I was doing, I remember like manually editing like where I was talking and turning me up, or like turning Connor down, and like that was grand back then because the podcast was only like an hour 20 and we thought that was long. Imagine trying to do that now when there's 3 hours.
Well, put it this way, right? We recorded, can't mind who it was with, but Michael didn't realise that his microphone wasn't working.
Oh, we chatted about this off air too.
And he made the joke when we had Slick on, and it fucking did it again.
Yep.
And then at the end it was like, oh my god, we've actually, you know,
Had one of our probably our highest profile guests.
and the fucking thing's not working. And I was like, okay, you know, it's still picking up from mine, not too bad.
No.
And then I was like, no, sorry.
You know, and like especially like with Jason being a high profile guest, you obviously want to put in effort.
Yeah.
To, like, you know, so he doesn't feel like that, oh, I came on then, guys, they didn't make an effort.
So whatever you do, make sure they're all recording.
Do you want to talk about that one?
I've already been through that.
So episode 3, guys, how did?
Oh, it's episode 3. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's all a learning curve. You kind of look over and realise someone's mic's not on, and you're like, for God's sake.
And I remember saying this to you as well, like off air. I was like, it's one thing if it's you, because you're the one doing the editing. You're the one like,
Yeah.
you're like, so it's like, let's call a spade a spade. You're the one doing all the work. So, you could at least sit and listen to it like, but for you to bring Kira back and then sit with Kira and go, right, Kira, listen to what you're saying here, and then I want you to talk.
Do it all again.
Yeah, and talk 1 second after, and talk at the same rate, and make sure your voice goes the same pitch. Like when you get excited here, make sure you sound excited there, and like that's so difficult. It's bad enough when you're doing it yourself and you can go, I'm going to record that bit again. Oh, I'm going to do that bit again. See, even if you're someone else, like if I was getting him to do it, Connor would just throw the microphone at me and go, fuck off.
Well, excuse me. There has been times where we've been in here and we've literally been 50 minutes through a podcast and both went, that's just shite, and started again.
Yeah, we had that one time. And
it was 2:15 in the morning when we finished. To say I was like a bulldog, a bull in the morning.
Yeah, that's rough, yeah.
What we have learned is if you're going to choose a topic, like have some form of outcome. So like this particular episode was like our dream garages, and
we hadn't a fucking clue what to say 10 minutes before.
It just became a competition of who could name like how
like,
many cars in the rarest car parts. And then I was like, hold on, this isn't working because all we're doing is listing cars. So then it became, right, top 10 garage, like what would be your top 10? And then it became a really interesting conversation, in my opinion, because we had to go, shit, right, well, why did you choose this? And whereas beforehand it was just like, I'd probably have a Mazda RX-7 with a, I don't know, triple rotor and Reamnia kit or something like that.
And then I'd be like, oh, I forgot about that. Shit, I'd have that.
I'd have one of them too. Like, and I was like, so.
But enough of us. Your first episode then, was it just like an introduction, or what way did you start it off?
Yeah, the first episode, I don't mind saying it was pretty crap.
It wasn't crap. It was 11 minutes.
Yeah, it was a nice, short and sweet one. But yeah, it was just an introduction, kind of introducing what the podcast was going to be about and a little bit about myself. And that was me out for the day.
How did you find it doing it yourself all the same?
Honestly, it was kind of nerve-wracking. I think it was...
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking at the thought of even just like starting it up and putting it out there. And then I was just kind of sitting at a table being like, what the hell am I going to say? And then I had to like re-record it 3 times.
Yeah, I would well believe that.
Yeah. Second time wasn't really my fault. My dad was screaming at the TV at the fucking football. So, yeah.
So, to be fair, like to sit down and create your own energy and try and like create a buzz about something, and you're like, well, personally, if it was me and I was doing that, you'd be like, if anybody walks in, what are they going to not be like, what the fuck are you doing, type of thing.
Well, the only thing is, I suppose with you being from a media background, it's probably kind of expected that you'll be maybe doing something like that by your parents. Maybe not, I don't know.
I mean, yes and no, and I do tell them whenever I'm doing it, but sometimes it just doesn't make a difference.
I think, whereas if like my ma or your dad was to walk in and us sitting over a mic going, well, welcome to all, like they'd just be like, the fuck you doing? Go out here and do something useful.
Yes. Well then, in episode 2, then you'd first guest.
Yes.
Well, co-host really, more so than guest. So.
Yeah. Kira kind of turned into my co-host because I had put the podcast out, and then she had messaged me saying that she was thinking about doing something like that.
Yes.
So I was like, come on as my co-host, and we'll kind of do it together.
And did you know Kira or anything before that? Like,
I did. I had kind of briefly spoken to Kira because I did my work experience at UTV, and I had an idea of doing women and cars kind of thing.
It's good idea, especially for something UTV at the time, which that would have been. Are we talking what? 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh Jesus, no! This was like maybe.
When you say work experience.
Yeah, I did my master's as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it was for that. Was it last year too? Was it last year? Might have been last year. I don't know. But we were.
Memory woman.
I was terrible with memory. But yeah, I had contacted Kira about doing that because she was in the middle of one of her rallies and she was in like 2nd, 3rd place, and I was like, this is a really good idea. And the guy that was in charge of me at that time, who was like, no.
Was he misogynistic or anything like that, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
I did not get on well with him.
Yes, that's a problem.
The week before I left, he was like, yes, this is such a good idea, we need to do this. And he was...
Twisted bastard.
The thing about it
what
is...
a ball bag.
I know. He was complaining to me that... Because I was saying, it's great, like she's in a male-dominated field. And he was like, that's an opinion. And I was like, it's not an opinion.
Well, like...
What?
Something that really will help yourself, obviously, is with the diversification of it. Like, obviously, like, there should be more women that are doing, like, obviously, driving and rallying.
You love
Yeah.
to see it, like.
You know,
You love to see it.
there's a lot of women drivers out there, far better drivers than either of us.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true. Killian O'Loughlin could steer rings around both me and you, like.
yes,
Yes. And has done steered rings around both me and you, to be fair.
she has done, yes.
Yes, literally. Like, yeah, do you know what? That's kind of like a shame, but like he was going, oh, that's an opinion. It's like, no, look at the entry list. Like, all you have to do is look at the entry list for this rally, and there might be like, if it might be Kira and maybe one other woman.
And I think that is literally the way it was.
Most likely, and he's going, but you know, like it's like proof.
But then so they decided that they were going to do it, and then the day that they were supposed to go out to Kira, something big happened in Belfast, and then she never got the opportunity. And I'd see at that point, like, I already had the podcast in my head. This podcast has been in my head for about 3 years.
Yeah.
I just didn't start it. And then at that point I was like, you know what, someone really needs to do something about that. And someone said to me the other day, which I don't know, this is just like stuck with me. It's like, if you're saying, oh, someone needs to do this or someone should do that,
Someone will.
you're the person that should do it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, no, totally, yeah.
But you're saying there, you did this idea in your head for 3 years. So you're talking about like starting it, like, when did the idea originally come up then?
So it came up whenever I was in uni, because I did a radio and podcast module.
That's really cool.
Thank
Like,
you.
that's really cool.
At least you know how to fucking do it. You know.
I wouldn't even say that. It's all a learning curve.
And I
still.
say a lot of it is probably kind of subjective. Like, obviously, we've done no podcast training, and if we went
Like,
in to do a podcast
we're over
module,
2 years at this, and we still don't even have custom mic covers.
and like if we had a,
You know,
if we tried to do a podcast
we can borrow
module,
Tyree's.
Don't bother.
we would feel drastically like, yeah, we do a podcast. So I'd say there's maybe some of it subjective, but what do they teach you in a podcast module?
Well, see, obviously, I really wanted to go into radio, so that was kind of why
Yeah.
I did it.
But that's quite forward thinking. Like,
Did you
radio
ever want to be
and
a
podcast?
DJ then?
I never really thought about doing a DJ. I've kind of been thinking about it recently, but
You should be a trance DJ. You could be
That's
the
what I was
next,
saying,
That
like,
would
if
be
you're
so
into that
good.
kind of music.
you could be like the next Ben Nicky, except you
you've-
don't like Ben Nicky, but you could be the one who's
Tyree Nicky.
DJ Patty.
Do not call me DJ.
No, DJ Patty, that's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's such an ick. That's hilarious. That's not your new nickname.
Please no.
And Terry has just got up and walked out. But yeah, but like the fact that like that's a podcast, like radio and podcast, am I just being ignorant of the fact that podcasts have existed for a lot longer than I think? Or did they change the module to kind of be a bit more modern?
No, like, well, I mean, whenever I was doing that, obviously Shane Todd and all was doing his like tea with
Tea with
me
me,
stuff,
yeah.
So it must have been around for a wee while, but I think they've like really grown.
Oh yeah.
And
Everybody and their dog is doing one at the minute.
know.
realistically.
Everybody and their dog is starting a podcast.
Yes.
It's a trend I've noticed.
Like,
a lot of people starting podcasts, a lot of people not actually following through with it.
Well, like, there was, like, again, that's just the power of social media and who you are. Like, there's one there came up, I think it's a girls group chat podcast or something. And I was like, the fuckers have 11,000 followers. And what? And they've only one episode out.
Girls Group Chat
no,
podcast.
I know I'm not. I got invited to the launch event for it.
Oh,
so like
I thought you were part of it.
No, I'm not part of it. I'm not that special.
Oh, I thought you were actually in that.
No, it's
Oh.
not me. But I saw that as well, and like 11K, and they've only just had one episode out is insane.
They've had they had a night out or a lunch party or?
Yeah, they had like a launch party for their podcast.
Are you doing a lunch party for yours? You can DJ at it.
Well, I mean, it's been out for a month now, so I don't even think anyone would come.
Yeah, I often think that's about ours too. To be fair, we could do one together, and then at least we could all be sad together.
You would probably have a much bigger community than I would, but
I don't know. Maybe. Like, to be fair, one thing I will say is that, like, and you said this yourself, you've had a lot of support from people
Yeah.
who will like who've got on board, like, and like as you say, like, the names you've mentioned are all like, this is class.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose, as I said to you earlier there as well, like, one of the main things is consistency. So if you're like, because the amount of people, and this isn't gender or anything. This is just people in general. A lot of people, even people who start podcasts, are all very like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And a lot of people have these big ideas.
Well, it's even the fact
and then they don't follow them.
that you're doing it on something that people really look down on them for doing it. If that makes sense, you know, like obviously there's the stereotype and everybody says this and slabbers and stuff, but at the same time, like whenever somebody's doing something to promote it and to try and get their voice out there, obviously you're bound to get support, like, and obviously you've got really good support from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're literally about to hit 2,000 followers on TikTok alone.
Fuck.
And
you've been going, what, like a month?
yeah, which is insane.
That's really good going.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good going. I have to say, though, your image quality and, like, your video quality and all is top tier. Like,
is it actually?
Your quality's very, very good.
Yeah, you can tell you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing. This is the thing.
But it's quite eye-catching. So, like, whenever we started, we were doing ours, and it was, like, a landscape video. On, like, we didn't go portrait, I would say, probably for, like,
But we were using
7-8 months.
a 720p camera and we were zooming
Yeah.
into it, and people were like, that
could-
does look dog shit.
Yeah, it was like just like taking a picture in like a 1.3 megapixel camera
Well,
from
like
2005.
the low resolution was good because
It had all the spots and the black hair,
yes, very much so.
but it was like, yeah, like, your stuff's very, like, it's very aesthetically pleasing, like, to look at it.
Thank you.
You can see that, like, as Connor says, like, you can tell, like, you know what you're doing, which is a feather in your cap as much as anything else. Like, it's, you have kind of that edge, and then on top of that, like I was saying to you off air, like, something that's great, like, you can really lean into the whole, like, the woman, and, like, and it's not just, like, you're saying SheDrives, but, like, we were talking about this off air, like, you could go rallying, drifting, you could go into the lorries, possibly she drives a tractor, you know,
Yeah.
into farming, etc.
I mean, there is so much. I mean, I'm definitely more into my, like, car shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's the joys of getting other people on. Like, I want this podcast to be something that, like, people can learn from and that I can learn from as well. Because, like, I don't know everything.
No.
You know, but, like, I want to know as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So
How did you get into cars though?
I need to thank my brother for that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I used to work with her brother. Just saying.
Yeah, you did.
And
He
her
knows.
other brother used to go out with my sister.
Yeah,
Oh.
I found that out the other
Yeah.
day as well.
Yeah.
I actually never brought that up to him either. I must do that.
Yeah, like when we were like 15 or 16, yeah. Her brother Shane used to go out with my sister for like a month, yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story after it.
Okay. But no, my brother Robbo, I used to be really, really close with him whenever I was younger.
But there's quite a big age gap between you and
Yeah, there's maybe 12 years difference.
but like you.
Me and my brother's 15 years. I'm the youngest by quite a bit in my house. Why was he into doing up cars and stuff, I take it?
Yeah, he was training to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
Up in Toyota in Coleraine, Curtis Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curtis Toyota, yeah.
And I don't know, I was so close with him, and he he got me into cars that I never really thought I'd be into. It's like he had a PD 130 Toledo.
Or a blue one?
Yeah, the blue one.
Yeah.
And
On Apollos?
no, I don't know, I didn't have him on Apollos.
This is going back, I think RS6s, wasn't it?
I don't know,
Five
he had
spokes. We're going back a while here, like,
yeah.
like we're going
no,
back.
he had them. I think he had Toledo Sports on it.
They're the wee 5 spokes?
I think so.
We can look it up. We'll keep the show going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he had Toledo, he had a Type R, Sylvia as well, which was the most recent one. And
I remember him from having the van.
yeah, the van as well, yeah.
But has he had a couple of them, or is it still that same van?
No, well, he sold the van. He's got a Golf R now.
Oh. So he had, because he had the blue van, and that was lowered, the wheels and all.
Yeah, the wee caddy, yeah.
and he had
which
it.
was nice.
He had it for quite a while.
Yeah, he did have it for quite a while, but I think he got sick of taking it to site with him because he just was bogging.
Yeah.
But no, he used to get up early, and I used to get up early just because he was up, and we would watch Top Gear and Wheeler Dealers, and anytime he was out fixing his car, I just kind of wanted to be outside, and that's how I kind of got into it.
No fair fox, like.
It is cool, like.
So what was your first car then?
My first car was a 1.6 Vauxhall Astra.
Racy. Petrol?
Yes.
Did it? Let's see.
Did
Typical,
you do anything to it?
Oh, I did everything to it.
typical Astra. Did it end in a good way or a bad way? A lot of them used to like snap timing and boil.
No, it ended in a good way. I mean, I think I got it about 7 months before I passed my test.
Did you pass your test when you were 17?
Yep.
Yeah, you were like, I am on the ball.
I needed my test.
Did you go to Cookstown or Ballymena?
Cookstown?
I failed Cookstown twice.
I got it first time.
Yeah, same.
Fuck you, Tyree. No, I failed my theory as well 3 times. I didn't get my test. I was nearly 18.
That's actually painful.
It was painful, to be fair.
To be fair, I think the woman taking me did not give a shit. Like, it was,
Same,
she was getting paid double
absolutely.
time. It was a bank holiday. I was in and out in half an hour.
Who did you have, out of curiosity?
I don't know.
I
a
had
woman
Francis.
I had a woman.
Dark-haired
I had a
woman.
woman called Julia. And
Maybe, yeah.
Dark-haired woman,
yeah.
really nice, really friendly.
Maybe, I don't know.
I had a woman called Julia, and I think she was hungover. Because, like, she really...
You were just taking her out joyriding for the
yeah,
day.
like, to be honest, like, to be fair, probably should have failed my driving test.
So should I have the third day, to be fair.
I got 4 minors for the one thing.
I got 3.
Which was, and you're supposed to, like, it's up to their discretion. It was whenever we were taking off, the car wasn't cancelling the left hand indicator, and it was taking a wee bit too long to, like, cancel the left indicator. So anytime she asked you to pull over and take off, the indicator was on for too long. And she was like, look, for, like, hazards, she's like, but, like, or she's like 4 minors, she's like, but, like, look, she's like, I could fail you. She's like, but it's something so stupid. She's like, I'm not going to. And I was like, you're the best.
That was nice.
I'd have been so broke.
Usually
about
they're
it.
dickheads.
Mine was road positioning. I was too close to the white line.
You do get every, well, not bad with them, just in case we get, like, completely annihilated, but every, like, test centre has the one person you don't want. So Cookstown, there was...
I got him, Tom, in the second round. He was the lead tester in it, and it didn't matter what the fuck I did that day. He was being like, you ain't passing, so I didn't pass.
Yeah, there's a guy as well in Derry is the exact same. There was also a fella in Ballymena was the exact same, and it was like everyone else is like, yeah, it's like 60% pass rate. These guys like 25% pass rate. The guy in Derry literally got like death threats and stuff because he was, and they were like, you need to stop being a dick, you're ruining. Like, he was just failing people for the stupidest of things, like, and he was like, oh well, I'm well within my rights to do it. Like, he just was being
Somebody
an
has
asshole,
not
like.
been good to him.
No.
Probably.
He was maybe a traffic warden in the past life.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Well then, how long did you have the Astra for?
I had the Astra for a year and maybe 2-3 months.
Lowered it?
It was lowered, it was piped, it was a girl that had it before me.
Yeah.
Did she have some of the things done?
Yeah,
already?
so she had a full respray on
Okay.
it.
What year of Astra was it?
2008.
3-door?
Yeah, 3-door.
You used to be able to make them look really nice if they were done right with XP kit. They looked unbelievable.
They
looked
were a really nice looking 3-door car.
really, really nice looking car. What wheels or anything was on it?
Oh, it was just like the standard
SXIs or
I think
SRIs or something?
Yeah. So she.
Were they a 5-spoke?
I can't remember.
I was going to say Pentas would have been like the wheel a lot of people would have put on them.
But the wheels were also custom done in like a black glitter.
Okay.
What
And
colour
then
was the car?
I can't,
Red.
I can't get behind black wheels, but the
Neither
glitter...
can I, but they actually didn't look that bad with the
I was
car.
going to say I wouldn't be a fan of black
No,
wheels.
see, I wouldn't put them on the Golf at the minute.
No, your car
No,
would.
I definitely don't put black wheels in
No,
your car.
I
definitely
think
not.
black wheels only really look good on proper, like, mean track cars or drift cars.
For me, it's just like, I have bought a nice set of wheels, but you can't see them because they're black.
Yeah.
That's,
Unless they're stone chipped.
you know.
Yeah, then that's just...
Whereas I'm like,
Marker
silver,
pen.
now you can see my wheels at
Yes.
all times. And they look shiny as they drive by you.
Was it the body clubs?
Yes, that sounds simple, but still, it works.
We used to talk about so just was it the body clubs, and I went round body clubs with a Tipex. It was before I got them done up.
Sure,
I went round them with a Tipex
Jack-
to try and cover up some of the
Did
stone
Jack not
chips.
use plumber's tape or something like that? No, it wasn't plumber's tape. It was white insulation tape for around his lip kit at the time on his Fiesta.
Yes.
White, and he used insulation tape around it to have like a white line around his
It
thing.
actually looked really good as
It actually
well.
did look really good.
And
And then we Halo DRLs in The fog lights.
Yes. Yeah, they were popular. I wanted them as well, but
They were very of their time, I think. It's not really something you would have as much now.
no, not as much now.
It's like a lot of things, like whenever we first started driving, like when we passed your test, it was 2011. You were probably 2012, maybe? No, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're no, you're not a year young. You're half a year younger than me.
Near 18, lad.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like something that was like done was like a black roof. So like,
But it did look well in my cars.
but like now, if I see a car with a black roof, I'm like,
It's like a Golf with a Mark 5 Golf and an Oettinger kit on it, with black roof, black bonnet. You're
Yeah.
bound to remember what I mean.
Red one,
was
wasn't it?
No, there was a white one. I'm near sure
There was a white one as well,
Niall
there's a red-
Dan's older brother.
yeah, but
had
there's a red one as well.
Either it was an Oettinger kit or a Rager kit.
Rager was on the white one.
So the side skirts had like the black along them, and then the front, the way the GTI with the grille would be. So it nearly folded up onto the bonnet and onto the roof. I'd probably have to show you a
Yeah.
photo
Yeah,
because you're
probably.
probably third year in school by this stage.
Yeah.
But after the Astra, what did you buy?
The Golf.
Your baby.
My baby.
Your baby. So
I didn't have, like, I was not planning on getting a new car. I was happy enough with the Astra because I'd only just done everything I wanted to do to it. And then 2 weeks later, I see a red sunroof Golf and I'm like, that's going to be mine.
Oh, you're sunroof and all on it.
Yeah,
oh,
sunroof.
he loves
Always
that.
point at 30 degrees north.
Sunroof, sir. Sunroof
It's tilted at the minute.
Oh,
so
like-
my Sierra. lying in the car left with the sunroof up.
He was out lifting one day, and I was like, lad, you missed one thing. What? And he was like, am I doing this wrong? No, sunroof. And he was like, fuck off.
Whenever I was at Mondello Park, then everybody was like laughing at me, going like, just tell your fucking fell spec. Everybody else is out here, and you're out here drifting with the sunroof up.
Like, sure, when I was away, and like, whenever you're getting the slurry at the start, it's cold as fuck. It's raining. I still have the tractor open.
Oh, yeah.
So the heater's on full blast.
Still the
But,
sunroof open in the Fiat even now. That's right.
When did you get the Golf then? What year?
I got the Golf in 2020. So I got it in
COVID
July
times?
2020.
Oh,
yeah.
COVID times then?
Yeah.
Was it a depressing COVID purchase? Like, were you just kind of like, I have literally, like, life is shit and I just want that, so fuck it, I'm buying that?
I mean, I always.
Because I get it. I done
Yeah.
made 2 really bad purchases, 3 really bad purchases during COVID while I'm sitting there. The other one's lying in behind it, while I'm down the other shed line, 2 wheels jacked off the ground.
Michael
So-
during COVID was like, I'm going to buy a tractor. And then he bought a tractor.
Do you buy a tractor?
Sold the tractor and then bought 2 cars and was like, I can fix these, no bother. And then my Sarah kept breaking. I was like, LOL, I can't afford shit now.
All the savings are away. But what? So in July 2020, what year is your Golf?
2012.
Oh, so one of the very last of them then?
Yeah, one of the very last ones was March 2012. So it was
Nice.
one of the very last Mark
With
6s.
the
What
Mark
colour is
6
it?
Red.
With the Mark 6s with the Mark 6s have still held their money at that stage in 2020. Like the Mark 6s, I think, especially the later spec ones, did she have any of like the GTA lights or anything like that on it?
No, I bought the car completely standard. Everything I've done myself.
Oh, fair.
What,
Yeah.
what spec level is she? Is she like an SE or something?
No,
Sport probably if she's got the sunroof.
I don't know. It is one of the better specs to have. I cannot remember now.
Well, it's
Have
not
you
a
got
match.
steering wheel controls?
Match.
Is that match?
Match edition.
Really?
Yes.
I thought the match was a bit more basic. Or is the match? No, it's SE
I had a
match.
match.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yours
The
was.
Wayne's children, if I was ever leaving them somewhere, like, oh my god, you've got wind up windows. Sounds like fuck off. Because mine was a 5-door. The only reason I had mine was neighbour was basically trading in his car, and he was offered a certain amount, and we were like, we will give you some more, and then I'd have a diesel for work because I do a lot of miles. Sort of made sense. Naturally, my first thought was, is it 3-door? Don't think so. Fuck, shit. It had a spoiler, and I was like, that is a plus. Other than that, I was like, no, there's money to be spent. Within a week, it was our line kit, the R bumper, and I was like,
Oh,
I could
yes.
totally spend like £1,500 on this, and it's cost me like £1,500.
To be fair, I know everyone hates the fact that it is, but mine's a 5-door as well.
Is it?
See, I like
Yeah,
the 5
it
doors.
is.
I like 5 doors.
I like the 5 doors as well.
Don't hate me.
Is your GTD, your new GTD,
I
a
purposely
3-door?
have 3-door.
Yeah.
Now, is it totally impractical? Yes. Do I have to put up with it? Yes.
Yes.
Am I putting up with it? Yes. Will I hate my life in years to come? Yes.
See, whenever I got the 207, like originally, so what are we talking, like 2012 when I had it? Like, I used to get wild shit for it being a 5-door and like being on hydraulic suspension. Like everyone, like, but I remember being stopped in the port by like ones outside Shenanigans, and this fella, like, I had it like sitting on the ground. And like this fella just come to me and goes, "You're one stupid fucking cunt for spending all that money on a 5-door 207," and just like ran off again. And he was like, "You're not," and as he was running off, he was like, "You're not but a fucking wanker." And I just remember sitting there being like,
I can mind early in me and Michael's friendship. You didn't have a spoiler in the car at the time, and he had just got a spoiler in the back of it, and I was like,
this would be 2013 then,
because I was like, geez, look, fuck all without a spoiler. I didn't realise that I'd just come out with that. Then he was like, alright, you fucking wanker.
The GTA spoiler did help it a lot. Like, I think it made the body lines.
So then, what was the first thing you did to the Golf then, whenever you did get it?
First thing, I lowered it.
Naturally,
What
yes.
did-
Coilovers?
Yeah, I had coilovers first.
Racelands?
FKs.
What under God is that? That is a big ass wasp.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where?
Up there. You can't see it from where you're sitting. Did you not hear it?
That's not something I need to hear right now.
Yeah, I was wondering what the buzzing noise was, and I looked up and just went, "Holy shit, that thing mutated."
I'm afraid of wasps.
I'm not a fan of them myself, to be quite honest with you.
I don't think I've ever been stung. I don't really plan to get stung tonight.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Well, wasp season doesn't. They should all be dead.
Lads, you shouldn't be out at the moment.
Does your mother know you're out?
Your curfew is definitely passed.
Anyway, back to your golf.
So say FKs.
Yeah, FKs.
Really?
The yellow ones.
Yes,
Yes.
the other ones. I'm not gonna lie. Best coilover ever.
I had FKs in
I
my.
had fucking Racelands in the Golf.
I had
I thought-
FKs in my white A4. They were fine. Had Racelands
Did
in
they
the
go
207.
that
Hated
low
them.
though?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
That was the whole thing about FKs.
My car was so low.
Everyone else was like, all other
I
coilovers
know
were
Raceland
like.
Ultimos are 120 mil coilover
But
too.
Raceland Ultimos, whenever we started
Aye, they
driving,
didn't exist.
weren't a thing.
Wait, was
Marty
Marty?
O'Neill was the first person that was
Aye.
on the Ultimos, and that was 2015. So like,
He had his screwed fully down, and the first night we were in it, we burnt the arch liners out of the back
Yeah.
of her. And he was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah,
like,
I've done
back
that
in the
before.
day, it was
I've rubbed
like-
through my filler neck.
yeah,
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah,
no, someone
I'm
else had
pretty
done it.
sure that happened, and I landed to Killian for some other work, and I just went, "Aye, there's a wee girl who's just come in here, and I don't know how the fuck she got down the lane, but she had, fuel tank filler neck is fucked." And I was like, "How?" The wheel up through it, and I was like, "How?" They was like,
Wait, when was this?
"Oh fuck." I think I was getting some done to the Type R. It could have been 2021 maybe or so.
It's a very good chance that was me.
that was 100%.
Oh no,
you.
it was you,
you.
because he had said it was like.
Well, Killian is your mechanic. He's also
Yeah,
our
okay.
mechanic.
God love Killian.
Yeah, I know. So that was 100% you. Then was the one who rubbed through the filler.
So how
neck.
do you know you've rubbed through it without being stupid? But like, what is the telltale signs?
I put the diesel in and it's
It's on the floor.
it's on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm filling the car and I'm like, why is there water running? And it's not water. It's my
Wow.
fuel.
Yeah, I know other people who have done that and as well, like the Mark V's.
It was it was a difficult time. I had to keep taping it up until I got myself a filler neck.
Do you not just raise the car up?
No,
No, I can't. I couldn't.
No.
Did you have the adjuster still in the back of her?
No.
no, of course not.
No.
Did the springs fall out if you jacked her up?
No, actually.
Really?
It was close
Oh.
to it, but they never ever fell out.
Oh,
Because the
right.
polos, if I went over above
207 as well.
would have fell out.
Yeah,
No,
207
I
as
went
well.
to JB's because obviously it's the only place you get your car aligned. And whenever they jacked the car up, the springs fell out. So
Yeah.
we had two boys at the back of her, like holding springs in place. And if the Vos are fucking police running drive by,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yes.
but I did 120,000 mile, nothing like that, never bothered.
Used
Yeah.
to be before. I'm really not liking this wasp.
I'd like you to out my fucking big laughter because that was really excessive.
I remember whenever, like, prior to the new A6 been built, there used to, and they actually read it on the road, but this is what I was supposed to say, re-edit it, read on the road. in like 2014. But when I first got the driving test, when you were heading to Toom from Castledawson roundabout, there used to be like this real bad like
Oh fuck! Aye,
bump
yes.
in the road.
Then they resurfaced it
Yeah.
before they did the new road,
Yeah,
and
they-
I could make driving road and be like, "What the fuck?"
And it was bad. I remember hitting it like 1.8 in the 207, like, and I was lifting. I say I was lifting. I was probably doing about 70 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour
You
speed
were
limit.
lifting for that car.
If it lifting for that car, so it might have actually been reaching like 3,000 RPM in fifth gear, and it was. I remember hitting that bump, and I remember the bang when it come down, and I was like just waiting to see the springs fall out down behind the road. Like it was.
Well,
like
I was
they were.
coming from Galgorm, and I was on the way home, I think, from Ballymena one particular night. But whatever reason, I was like, I could go a detour and try and get home faster. But there was a speed bump with no markings on it. I mean, it was a speed jump because, like,
Been there
and
too.
I had to jump out, stayed away underneath the car, and madly enough, they stayed in place. Because whatever way the beehive spring was in the way in the back of a Polo with the postport, the actual spring sat inside itself. So
Right.
my car with Clio springs, which back in the day were like the spring that you would.
That's
put in
what
the
I ran
car
as well.
to
Clio
make
Sports
them lower.
springs.
They raised
Well,
my
that
car up.
courses. People used to use Corsa
couldn't put
60s because
anybody-
they're like 3 coils.
But anyway,
No,
enough
yeah, I
about
remember the
that.
course of sixes.
That would have been a Robin special. You would have
Yeah,
done
it would have
that,
been.
yeah.
After the FKs, then what was the next thing?
I think next I did the headlights first.
So like,
GTD style.
GTD headlights or like something different.
They're kind of Mark 7 style.
Oh, okay.
They're the Osram
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
cost me like £750.
Just don't put the power washer too close to them, because they will take water into them.
Okay.
Any of them ones do. Because I recently enough got a Mark 7 GTD, and the first thing I noticed was there was condensation in the headlights. But just don't put the power washer too close to them, because I found since I've stopped, well, it was in a Facebook group, it's like, just don't put the power washer too close to them. Are they the 7.5 style or the 7 style?
7.5.
Okay.
Oh.
So, and it's Osram makes them.
Yeah, they're Osram brand. My cousin, he used to have a Mark 6, and it was a white 3-door on white bolas.
Who's that?
Nathan Gray.
Was that car around Marfeld at a point?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Cookstown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had the Osram lights, and I was like, I need them because they're so expensive. Not many people have them. And
I
I
have
was
the
like,
things for Vland.
yeah. Those are my tail lights. But I put the headlights in, and then I put the tail lights in as well.
So what? That's like £1,000 in lights.
I can't even judge it, because I was going to do it too, and then
Yeah,
it was
I know
like,
you were. I know other people that have done it. Because I know people have talked about doing the same. Leons are slightly different, but you can do like the same sort of thing to Leons as well.
because naturally whenever you get a £1,500 car, you're thinking, right, £2,500, leave this thing nice.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
And 10 grand later.
But that's car people math. Like buy a car £1,500 out of a £4,000 budget to spend £2,500 to make your car now worth £1,700.
Well, like, anyway, sorry about that. Your next mod then after your lights and your coilovers.
I think I put. See, I just have a dummy tip on the car. I have
Right.
a dummy shotgun
so you
tip
don't
on
have
the
a
car.
straight pipe or nothing?
No, it's not piped. That's what I still want to get done to it. But I just put the dummy on just to kind of like make it look half decent.
Would you consider twin piping it?
No.
I like the twin pipes and Mark 6s. I think they look really good.
With the GTA style diffuser on it, do look well.
I
I
think
know
it looks
everybody's
really
done
good.
it, but 4-inch tips, one either side, is very nice.
Yeah.
See, because
The
I
wee 1.6s piped actually sound alright as well. Like,
yeah. See, I'm really picky as well. Like, I'm just so picky. I'm scared in case I get it done and I hate the sound of it.
just get it done on a V-Band so you can take it off and put the original one back on again.
I suppose.
Spend the extra money with someone who knows what they're doing.
I put a silencer into it if you need to.
And or put it on a V-Band that it can either be straight pipe or silencer.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do that with Sarah, and I now really regret having the back box that I have, because at the time it was cool, but it's so ignorantly loud that I now hate it. Like, it's so loud. It sounds grand when you're drifting, but normal driving you're like, oh my god, I cannot think.
Headache.
Yeah. Oh. It's bad. Like, it's a proper drone. Like, when you're trying to drive Dublin the motorway and it's sitting like because it's like the way it's geared and all, it's like quite like it's revving quite high. It's like 4,000 RPM at like 7 miles an hour, and all you can hear is "bah," and you're just like, oh, kill me now.
At least it's working that day.
It's worked anytime it's ever went to Dublin. It's the small journeys that kills it.
That'll not start now when I go out to it, because there'll be no oil in it then. But so dummy tip on it. Then when did you put the R20 kit onto it?
I think it went on 2 years ago. I did the side skirts and the front bumper at the same time, but the front bumper's a genuine one.
Bulk at the price of that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like 700 or so, maybe.
I forgot that people still spend a lot of money in
Wasn't
golfs.
that, it was $350.
That's cheap for a genuine bumper.
Yeah, it was in the you know that really nice blue colour that the Mark 6.
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, I just got it second hand.
Was there much work to get it probably back to what you
The light
wanted
blue or
then?
the dark blue?
That'll be the dark blue.
Yeah, dark blue, yeah. No, not really. I mean, it just needed sprayed. Like, there wasn't really that much damage to it.
Came with all the grills and that?
Who done your
Yeah, it
paintwork?
came with all the grills. My friend Simon,
Okay.
he does bodywork.
Shout out to Simon.
Shout out to Simon, SJS Bodywork.
There we go, Simon. There's where we shout out.
Yeah, he does absolutely all. Like, he does all of my car.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is handy having him there, and it gives him business as well. So,
Of course,
like,
yeah.
no complaints.
So then, what I really want to know about the air
The bags.
The air suspension.
I totally forgot about that. It's like the main
kinda
part
like the
of the
main
car.
thing in the car. But anyway, well, also the wheels. But we'll talk about the wheels because that'll go into a different segment here shortly. But
Okay.
yeah, you know what I'm going to ask you about. But the bags. So airlift 3P, I presume.
Yep, 3P.
Who fitted the bags?
Blackline.
Gavin. And
How long ago did you get that done?
I think that was 2 years as well. I think it all kind of like happened at the same time.
Oh, fuck,
A
right,
very
yeah.
bad financial decisions all at once, you know?
I hear you. I hear you.
None of us done that before.
Yeah.
Well, I take it whenever the fuel filler done that, and all was it just like I want a bit of comfort but still be able to.
Yeah, like I never really wanted my car to be high.
Did you enter for Dubshed, by the way?
No, I didn't.
What? Why? Why?
Honestly,
I've only entered into Dubshed once, and that was whenever my car was static. I haven't entered it whenever it was bagged. Whenever I look at the car, I see everything that it could be, not what it is.
don't think that way.
Don't
though.
think that. Like,
I just don't think.
I thought that way, and that's basically standard and the same as every other type of country. Let's be realistic. Nobody else does them any differently. Standard wheels and lower and all that crack. That got into the LZ World Tour, and that was meant to be the top 700 show cars in Europe. Which
Go
is,
you.
but like,
But it has had work done. The thing is, you were smart enough in your description to say, yes, it said this, yes, it said that. So it is different.
but like that
from,
could outside at Dubshed, I was hoping it fucking would. But like, your car could totally get inside at Dubshed.
Do you think so?
I would have thought so.
Well,
Yeah.
like-
Look, the standard to get inside Dubshed is I feel like there is a VW scene making a resurgence. A lot of people are starting to pump money into Mark 4s and Bores now.
Like, it's going to not to sound in any way derogatory towards your own car and all that. But like, because everybody moved to buy the Jap cars, there's not really many
Yeah.
people, unless because the likes of yourself at 23 and the ones younger than you, everybody's like a Bora and a Mark 4 Golf's the new
Yeah.
D-Turbo, really.
Yeah.
But only like they can get 250 brake out of them, and D-Turbo's what, 120 brake.
I would
at max.
100% see if you can try and I don't think you're going to be able to cheat your way to get inside, and I wouldn't recommend doing that either. But you should go up on the Saturday.
You can still enter outside at the
go
same
up-
time now.
You can enter,
Yeah.
enter for outside, and go up outside, and be good
I
crack.
might see
Because
about it.
You're clearly confident enough to do interviews on camera with the likes of all the girls that sat it.
And to be fair, look, I can introduce you to a few of the ones that there's Vicky as well, but there's also Samantha Wilson with the.
Sounds like you're going to be like, Tyree, come on, I'll take your hand.
Look, I'm not.
Taking the piss, Michael, is a joke.
But like, you know,
Calm down.
if you don't know them, but there's people who have like,
My young prodigy.
but like people, for instance, like I know we've banged on about Vicky a few times, but like also Samantha Wilson, I think the A3 also has a class car. It's indoors at Dubshed. You know, people like that. You know, I'm sure would love to hear, like, because I had planned on going about and annoying people at Dubshed.
Like,
So
definitely enter for outside.
I'll think about it.
Because realistic, why not? Like, I've entered that outside.
I
I'm
don't know.
not being in to run my
Get you,
car
give me a
down,
drink.
but it's basically, it looks like.
I think what it is I go to Dubshed and no diss to anyone's build or anything, but some of those builds are pretty questionable.
hey,
Well, put it this way, right?
I've been saying Dubshed.
When you go to Dubshed, you come home from Dubshed being like, I need bags.
100%.
And I could really do with an interior valet.
Yes, or an interior. So you start looking at like wingback Recaros and stuff like that. Like,
You know, like, I really could do with spending like 10 grand. And then a week after, you're like, no, but you've bags, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, bags.
No, definitely enter for outside. Like, at the end of the day, you're getting into the show. You can bring all your equipment with you. It's in the car park.
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah,
You
you
have
could
a
go for a sleep
five-door.
if you want to.
What I normally did was jump into the back seats. Have you full tents?
I was about to ask, are you fully
Well,
tinted?
the backs are limos, but I haven't got around to tinting
Your back
it again.
limos, just
The
jump
backs
into
are limos.
Yeah.
Are they limo? Did you get them with limos, or did they come like that?
No, I got limos.
Are you going to go for like medium fronts and windscreen?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Take my advice. Don't go too dark. Don't
It's
go.
illegal. Allegedly.
If you don't go too dark in the windscreen and they pull you on, you get done on the side windows, they'll not notice the windscreen done. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But just don't get your windscreen done medium.
To be fair, I mean, I have had a few run-ins, but they've let me away with it, and I've just left with my tint still intact.
But on the rear windows, or are you just
No,
not?
like on the fronts.
Oh, so you do have the fronts tinted?
No, I used to,
Oh,
And you got away with it?
and I got away with it a few times.
You allegedly had them tinted?
Allegedly.
allegedly. Mm-hmm. I remember back in Kilray, back in the day, like whenever the police used to come in and get everybody, Georgia Boyd, fully tinted, Mark 6 Golf, drive into the town, not a bother. The police would stop her, like she'd wind the window down, they'd be like, oh, sorry to trouble you, gone ahead, and she'd put the window up, fucking pitch black window, and the rest of us were all like,
Where the rest of us like, put the two windows down.
it's like,
and
it's freezing cold, you're sitting in the car, and it's like cold, too warm.
No, like it's win-win, and then you're going to be obviously there all day anyway. I'm assuming, so like,
Yeah.
and you can still enter, like, this is the last week of it.
But you can sleep in the car, that's the main thing.
Well, that's what I'm for doing.
Well, that's true.
So if my car's lying there and it's fucking locked and I'm in the back of it, please fuck off.
I am definitely knocking the window.
Just don't do what he did at Donegal and keep whacking the fucking roof to me revving it and then screw the wind deflector off. So
That was the time where, yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had
good
to
show.
take the fucking thing back on, you know.
I know we've talked about the air and everything else in the car. One other thing, and I kind of I've been alluding to this a couple of times, is so you run Veeman wheels,
Yes, I run Veeman wheels.
and how do you feel about that?
I mean, I like Veemans.
I like Veemans as well.
I've
had Veemans,
Yeah.
so I can't even slabber, and also hit many a pothole on them, and they were still straight. So
I mean, this is the thing. The very first set of wheels I had were the 31s.
yeah,
And like I've had
that's what I had too actually.
I've had TTRSs, I've had 3 SDMs since, I've had
I love
I
3
had-
SDMs. They were such
SDMs.
probably the 006 were the ones
Yeah.
that kind of look like the S's.
Yeah.
I remember when they first like come on the market, it was like they were the wheel to have. If you had a set of like 006s, you were the boy, like you were the person. There was only like 4 people in the north got them at the time. And it, like when they first come out, and it was just like everyone was on the 005s, which was like the fat 5 spoke one, and like you seen them everywhere, and I was like, he's 6s, holy shit, he's like, that was nearly like a show winning wheel at the time.
So
That was not, they were like so cool. I love the 006s. Anyway,
yeah, so I've also had the VFS 4s on my car, and now I have the VFS 60s.
60s, yes.
Yeah.
So, look, To be honest, if you're in our sort of scene, which I'm going to say is like tasteful felt spec.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah,
I can go for that.
I think that's fairly, or felt plus,
That's what I say.
as we would call it. Like, obviously, it's not like a show running wheel. It's not a 3-piece split. It's not like a
Nice everyday wheel.
It's not like
just
a
nice everyday.
huge costing multi-piece OEM or like
Yeah, we get the point.
like a Bentley or whatever. They're a good budget enough. So fuck, they're dear
They're
enough
still quite
now.
dear,
They're dear
actually,
enough now. Wheel that just fits. They just work.
Yeah.
They just suit a car. But apparently, when you say it just fits, apparently people go, "Oh, of course they fit. Maybe you should check if your car doesn't fit your car." Because people are fucking dicks. Because yes, I seen your TikTok, and people are complete ball bags.
Thank you. I woke up this morning and, to be honest, I completely forgot that I had posted the video, and then I saw the comments on it, and I was like, why is this getting hate? Like, I just said that I love Veeam wheels. That is literally all I said. I said that they fit the car, and what I meant by that is they fit the style I'm trying to go
Which
for.
is, we're talking about this kind of like felt plus, tasteful felt spec kind of thing.
Just
you know,
a
like,
nice kind of everyday wheel, something a wee bit different from fucking shitty, I don't know, standard Mark 6 Golf wheels.
yeah, or like people going about in, like I said, Passat Sports or something.
Yeah,
out
like
there,
Helios or something. But I do like Helios.
I
know
hear
that.
you, but they were overdone at a point. Everyone had Helios.
I do agree with that.
Everyone at one point had Helios.
But now if somebody had said a Helios, I'd be like,
Yeah, but you see, it's like at one point I've always loved Alfords, always will love Alfords. At one
Alfords,
point,
yeah, no.
everybody had Alfords.
But see, I mean, I do want a pair. I do want a set of Alfords for my car, but it's only acceptable if you get the genuine Alfords.
No, I would get the genuine Alfords because they're 9.5 rears and have a bit of concave. That's why I would go for that. But like originally,
couldn't give a fuck.
like it used to be the polished face, like they were like a Lenzo. They had the Mercedes stamp, and I was like, oh, genuine Mercedes stamps. It's like the Mercedes stamp means it's not genuine because it's a Lenzo wheel. But like I ran the fully polished.
Because the real ones are Rono.
Yeah, I ran fully polished Alfords in my 207, so I got like 4 to 5 stud adapters for the wheels and all. Like like at the time, this was like no one had done this, and like
Trendsetter.
they were but it's just they weren't the genuine wheels, and it was I was like still probably one of the favorite set of wheels I've ever put in a car ever.
To be fair,
Not genuine or anything like that. Just
on a Mark 6 or even a Jetta, I think Alford's probably one of the nicest wheels. On a red one, TTRS is hard to beat.
The TTRSs did actually look quite good in my car.
they have to be concave though, I think, TTRSs. I think if TTRSs are quite a flat face, especially when you go like, I think in 19s it's kind of a nice balance. I think in the 18s if it's a flat face it doesn't look good, and if it's a 20 on a flat face it looks really bad.
20's nearly too big though for a Mark 6 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mark 6 absolutely, yeah. Were you running 19s or 18s?
19s.
Aye, probably. Were they 9.5s or 9s?
9s?
Aye, so the 9s are fine because you used to be able to get like an 8.5 and it was flat, and it just did not look. They're just not. Whereas the concave like makes them look so much better. Like,
Yeah.
I suppose to kind of finish up on your golf then, because probably need to get back onto the talking about the podcast. But what would you go for dream wheels if you couldn't run Veemans?
I don't have like the spec number for them, but it's Vosen.
Yes.
They have a really nice gold wheel.
Okay. What does it look like?
It's like,
Is it 5-spoke?
yeah, it's like spoked out at the ends.
Oh, it's like a triangle.
They
Yeah.
nearly look
Yes.
like similar to Tiger Claws.
If Tiger Claws were
Really thin?
spoke, yeah. Aye, because they do look like BMW wheels as well. You get like set wheels like an M4. It kind of looks like that.
Focus ST, like a really like that's a rough.
Yeah.
Like
more
a sort of style.
tasteful.
Yeah, a lot more tasteful.
A lot more tasteful.
Not trying to say it was a taste, but just that's roughly the style of them.
That would
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
good, but probably to make something that fit, you might need a bit of camber at the rear, and then it'll drive like absolute arse.
Yeah. I don't think, I mean, I have thought about putting camber on it, but then I just...
We used to
same
run
time.
about with like fairly big camber back in the day, and it was shake rack. Like
Would you ever
It's not
think
good.
of a set of show wheels along with your everyday wheels? So, likes of keep obviously your Raymond's for driving about every day, but then have show wheels for like Dubshed or any of the shows?
See, I have kind of thought about it because I feel like the only way I'd be able to get my car inside would be by having show wheels.
I hear you. Wheels play a big part.
Yeah.
I'll sell you a set of Guinness.
Do you want to know what a set of wheels
No,
actually
but
would
thank you.
really
Have you
suit
seen?
your
Do you know
car?
what? Do you even know what they are?
I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
really? You do know my wheels?
Yeah.
Oh, I say them. You can
Abby Higgins' wheels and her TT would really suit your car.
What wheels are they?
They're 3SDM 3-piece.
Oh, aye.
Are they the gold on the inside?
They're grey.
Or grey?
Grey with a dish, I think.
Do you actually know my Guinness right enough? The really big dishy ones.
I think so.
They're down in the shed. I'll show them to you after if you want. Not that you care, but
Let's say no to seeing
Sorry,
Halloween.
they are gold now, but them in grey.
Yes.
Them in grey would be
not
like,
be too bad.
oh, yes.
yeah, the Sperry kind did like a version of it.
Them in grey. I'm nearly sure they were on a Gulf before.
They were on one in England. A black one, I'm near sure.
Oh, I was going to say a white Mark 7. Maybe I'm thinking of something completely different.
I think the white Mark 7 has a set of gold OZ Superleggera because it was Michael Patton's, I'm near sure. Yeah, Michael Patton, Ballyclare.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Not related.
No, Michael Patton, yeah.
Funny, my cousin is married to Patton.
Oh.
Chris Patton. They live outside Ronaldstown now. I don't know if it could be in any way, shape or form related because I don't even know where he's originally from. So that's totally pointless information.
I don't think
that
I'm...
only actually came into my head there now. So there you go.
I don't think I'm related to Chris. Sorry, Chris.
So, I guess moving back on then steering back towards the podcast then.
I feel like we've really barely spoke about your podcast.
Yeah, we brought you on to talk about SheDrives and end up just talking about
It's fine. I don't see a lot of people. I just, like, it's just
you
fun to
just enjoy the
shit talk.
conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're saying like I do really want to see you do well, obviously, but one of the questions I suppose I wanted to pose to you
Just
was,
don't do better than us.
we'll like you until you're doing a wee bit too well, then we won't like you. I suppose one of the things like I want to ask you about is because like, so we would be quite involved. Well, we've kind of pushed ourselves into it. We weren't really asked. We just kind of jumped in and went, we're going to help you with this. And they went, oh, okay, I guess you're here now. With King of the Comb. So Donegal Rally. Have you
In
ever been
actual
to
fact, Michael did. I just followed it up.
Have you ever been to Donegal Rally?
Yes.
Oh,
I
you
have.
have?
Yes.
I suppose your boyfriend living in Strabane, Jesus Christ, be rude not to.
Well, no, we've only kind of recently gotten together, so I've never actually been with him.
But now he lives in Strabane, so now going forward, it would be rude not to.
Exactly. I've been to Donegal Rally maybe the past 3 years.
Oh,
And I
Right.
have never gotten to see the rally because
We
they've
don't-
always
we don't
crashed
go to
at
see
the
the
stage.
We don't go to see the rally. We go for
we go for the rally weekend.
in Letterkenny.
Yeah.
We go for basically Letterkenny. We go for the car scene.
Yeah, Letterkenny is mental.
We go for the car scene, but I suppose the reason why I'm asking is like with Queen of the Cone and all there, like I think with you doing the podcast and all now, you would be a very good ambassador to like even come in and talk to some of the girls.
Yeah.
I think that would be like, I think that would just be appreciated by them because they're not going to want me standing interviewing them. Like I did
never know.
ask Caitlin. I was like, "Would you do an interview?" And she just looked at me and went, "No." I went, "Fair enough." Like she happily steers around me, no bother. She'll happily let us take videos, but like I was like, "I would like to get you a video," and she was like, "No, I'd rather you didn't." And I went, "Okay, I can also respect that."
I feel like some people are scared of the video.
Yeah, a lot of people are intimidated. It's like I know people who've been even
Me.
yeah.
You're
yeah,
doing well.
Yeah. No, he's 100% with us. Put a phone camera on him. Connor. Yeah.
I'm shouting camera. Like,
Yeah.
I
Really?
can't really help it.
Connor needs like a fucking vice, like with a plank of wood stuck to it to hold his chin up.
Oh,
He
so
looks at the ground.
So there's one occasion we, again, most of the time that's with King of the Cone, they did their own event, King of the Rings. We did an introduction to it, and to say I couldn't stand still was an understatement. I rewatched and went, fuck me. Oh, like, you talk about cringing hard for your life. And then
But he's
the
good
next
at this,
time,
like.
the next time though, whenever we actually did it, I made sure I was like, I'm going to stare at a point and not move my fucking head.
Because you were very good in the toilet run video.
Aye, because I stared at a point, and
Yeah.
then the problem was the mouse didn't open. So the fella that was videoing us was like, "You need to talk more. He needs to talk more. Why do you not talk?" And I was like, "Do you try to get it? Do you ever try to put it in front of him? You know."
It is difficult though.
Oh,
The
like,
button in front of me, yeah, no. Yeah.
I'm glad you said it. No, like I notice it whenever I'm doing my podcast. I'm like, this is just a regular conversation, and then if I'm like hosting something, I'm like, oh my god, I can't speak. Like, why?
But I feel like a lot of that, and including us doing the videos and stuff, a lot of that's artificial. This is because we're not looking at the camera. The camera is simply there to facilitate those who enjoy watching podcasts, or if we have a few TikTok lines to come out of this as well, like, you know, it's good for cutting out the TikTok.
Because you completely forget it's even there.
Yeah.
Other than that camera doesn't get looked at unless like we're doing something like you
Unless
make
I say the wrong words, or something said, or we're slabbering about somebody who shouldn't be, and all this crap.
because anyone like we've ever had on, they're like, oh, I wouldn't be good at any of that talking on the camera crack. And it's like, there's been quite a few people and we've went, just come and do it, and they've sat down and went, I forgot the camera was there.
Yeah.
Well, like, there's Slick. First 20 seconds, you talk
I
about a man
started-
that was completely nervous.
I started panicking because like
He didn't
Jason
open his mouth.
when he came on and started chatting away to us, and we were like, fuck, this man's
And then
just
he was like a Tesla, he just ran onto it.
he just started like, he was so like, and I was like, you nervous, are you? And he goes, a wee bit. And I was like, oh fuck no, like, don't let one of our best guests here like flop. And then he just came onto his own and just was 100% after that, like.
And then at the end of the day, if you say something wrong, you just edit it out.
That's the
Exactly.
other thing.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Which is mad, because one thing I've even noticed is, obviously from your background and what you've done in uni and stuff, like, he has been like, wait, we'll try this again, and you went straight away, yes, I have to redo this emotion. You know.
Yeah.
But like, one thing that can sometimes be hard, and this is how I've learned to edit. I edit on me going but or something like that, using them words, and then because if you're trying to do it mid-sentence, it just doesn't work. But if I go, oh, well, this one of them, I cut back in at the and say the next follow on from a sentence, it works. Like, it seems to be the way it works for me. Obviously it means I have to do like a fade on the video, so it's obvious in the video that I've had to make a transition. But if you're listening on to like Spotify, a lot of the time you'll not tell.
So, podcast.
You'll be able to tell probably, but for the
don't know.
most,
I mean, I do it as well.
yeah. Well, I mean, I can tell now with the two Johnnies, even if they've edited it, I can tell. I was like, you've come on that a wee bit too quick. That's definitely been a cut. You just can figure out.
So you're going for once a week then, Tyree? For each
Once
episode?
every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks.
Once every week is would be hell.
So, alright. No, I was about to say, like, you've had 4 episodes out in a month.
Well, this is probably coming up in your second month.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough. So
Into
you're
the-
going to stagger it every fortnight then?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as us. It's
More manageable.
It's enough.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely
That's
a lot
enough.
more manageable. Because, I mean, my schedule is sometimes all over the place, and then Kira obviously works like 9 to 5, so,
Literally works a mile from here.
yep. So,
Well, do you have a normal day job then? Or, like, a day job, sorry. No. Do you have a day job then?
I mean, kind of yes, kind of no. I do Q radio on a Saturday.
Oh, fuck right, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that? I mean, that's exciting. Like,
Not to be a dick, I just don't normally listen to any radio.
No, that's okay. Like, no judgment from me.
What show do you
judging
do
you.
then?
Saturday 2 to 6.
that's a good time.
That's a very fucking good time.
Why, if you don't mind me asking, is it not Saturday, Sunday? Surely you would just do a weekend slot.
Ask them that.
I'm actually
Fair
going to
enough.
listen now on Saturday and be like,
Because I know with like Radio 1, you would have had like the kind of like the people who do the weekend, and you'd have had the weekend.
well then,
And
where's
it was the
Q
same
Radio
hours.
based? Is it Newton Ards as well?
No, it's in Belfast. It's in the city centre.
Oh, bastard to get to.
Oh, yeah.
And parking's a fucking fortune.
Well, no, we get parking
I'm surprised.
for free
City Centre, like near Victoria Square, or
near Castle Court.
Castle
right.
Street, nearly probably, or close,
Yeah, more or less, actually.
How long are you doing that then?
I've been at Q for just over a year now. 10th of March was my 1 year
Yeah.
at
Have you
it.
been doing the same show ever since then?
But I started out doing cover work, and then they offered me my own show in June.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to a year on my own show.
Fair fucks.
That's really good
Yeah,
going.
thank you.
But would you want, I suppose, and I said this, I've said this a couple of times, both off air and now, like, you're at the age, like, you know, you're 23, you're at the stage now where, you know, you've no mortgage or nothing yet, and that's all ahead of you, but you're at the stage now where you can make a real good go with us. Like, I have people like messaging me being like, are you going to do like IDC and you're going to do this and you're going to do that? And I'm sitting going, look, I have like 35 weddings to go to this year. Like, you know, obviously exaggeration, but like there's a lot of other things, and, you know, a bit older, there's a few other things and commitments around to the farm and all that too. Like, he's the same, committed to the farm.
Out of curiosity, do you know Curtis McCosh? That would be cool with him.
Yeah, I would. I have spoken to Curtis before, yeah.
I used to work with him.
Oh, did you?
So we used to both work in a phone shop years ago, like in the Abbey Centre. He would have done DJing sort of like in the side at that stage, and he would have done like Thompson's and all that, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you ever done Secrets? He was like, this one time. And that was really it. And he probably doesn't know me now, like, because obviously it's been years since then, but
He probably would remember you if you were...
me and him and another girl would have done the Sunday shift usually. But absolutely lovely fella, you know.
Yeah, Curtis has been really nice to me as well, actually.
Weird to hear now in Cool FM quite a lot. I think he started maybe in Q Radio.
Yeah, he started on Q, yeah.
But
Thank
Small
you for
world.
the
You're not
interjection.
Huh?
Thank you for the interjection when I was halfway through making a point. You bollocks.
Sorry.
Ruined my flow. But, you know, you're at the stage now where I'm kind of almost jealous in a way. Like, you could really make a go if the doors started getting opened, like, in, say for instance, like, you know, you maybe found a niche with drifting, or maybe even rallying yourself, or with the show, like, look, like, for instance, like, take Abby Higgins as a perfect example, has now got in with, like, or Tyler Woods has got in with, like, you know, she's in with Pristine, Abby Higgins is in with Storm Competitions. If you got in with like that kind of thing, and you were able to be in the car sector whilst also having your own podcast.
Sammy from Lucky Day Competitions would be a very good guest as well.
You were talking about that because you wanted her for this podcast.
Huh? Sammy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was earlier.
I used to do that. I used to do a competition site, like presenting
What one was that?
global competitions.
Never heard of them.
And then McKinney competitions
you did
bought
McKinney?
them. No, McKinney bought them over.
Then your blonde-haired doll now does it, or I know there is another girl now does it.
I've no idea. I don't really know anything
They
about
do
McKinney.
motorhomes and stuff, I think.
Aye.
Yeah, so McKinney's did have a presenter slot up, and I was supposed to go for a test shoot for them, and
Yeah.
then it just fell through.
Okay.
So I will say I have had a lot of things kind of fall through in that sense, but
You've had a bit of bad luck.
yeah, I've had a bit of bad luck for a little while now in terms of
I'm kind of not really liking this bad luck that's going on.
no, but things are looking up. I mean,
Well, you're in Q
You're
Radio.
a fucking radio
Yeah,
presenter.
yeah.
You're doing all right. Like,
I know. I mean, that is my dream job.
I'm really sorry I didn't know that, by the way.
It's fine. It's fine.
she's not fine about it. She's actually really
I'm gonna
annoyed.
cry myself to
Because
sleep
the
tonight.
last woman,
I do that every night.
the last girl that I was speaking to that was a radio presenter was your doll from Cookstown. It's in Cool FM now. Does Cool Goes Quiet? Why can I not remember?
Melissa Riddell,
She's not from Cookstown.
Where's she from?
Melissa Riddell's from, like,
Port Glenone.
aye. Again, she lives up beside Anthony. My cousin. She's
Oh, right.
She's before you get to Arnie O'Neill's. Her brother's Mark
No,
as well.
sorry, it's because she was in a cruise.
Well, like, I know you're saying about the bad luck, but like, you'll be surprised, like, even for us, like, the amount of shit that just fell into place was, and places you might be somewhere and just happen to turn around and get talking to a certain person, and that person happens to know someone else, and they mention your name, and all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, we're now involved with this.
So, Terry, who would probably be like, who would you aspire to get on?
I really want to get Aoife Raftery on.
Is she the rally driver?
Yeah,
yeah.
rally driver.
That would be class.
Like, she is doing.
I was going to say she's doing really well.
She's doing incredible things for the like the women. She does a lot of things in STEM
I
as
was going to
well.
ask, there's the woman in STEM and all with that too, isn't there?
Yeah, she does a lot with that. I think she would be absolutely fantastic to get on.
Great ambassador, to be
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Have you spoke to her at all, or?
no, not really. I mean, Kira does have a little bit of contact with her, and she said that she would be up for it.
Okay, well that's...
I feel like right now I want to kind of get numbers up first.
I was the exact same way. There was things I was like, you could get such and such, and there was other people who were like, oh, well, we could talk such and such, it might come on. I goes, let it grow organically.
Yeah.
There's no point in having a big name come on now and you've got 500 followers and then a load of people come and then you're down still to like 503 organically. I hear exactly what you're saying. You nearly want to do yourself justice for when the big names come.
Yeah, exactly.
You're nearly kind of, no, I'm not going to say on their level, but you can relate to them a lot better. Whereas if you're interviewing now, you'd just be sort of starstruck and wouldn't have the experience maybe to talk about some of the things you'd actually love to talk to her about properly.
Yeah, even like some of the topics that I have in my head that I want to talk about, I just feel like it needs to grow a wee bit more to get like the right audience.
That's so wise. Like that's and I like that because that immediately tells me that you have a long-term goal with this. Because you're not. And I said this earlier, and then we changed the subject about 30 million times. But like consistency is key, and there's a lot of people come on, and a lot of people start podcasts and go, yeah, and I'm going to do this, and I have such and such lined up, and such said they come on, and then.
So
nothing
like,
ever happens.
is rallying the favourite motorsport, or what would you follow the most?
I would probably be more into my drifting.
I think I know why that is. So we're also following drifting. I think show people naturally gravitate towards Jap spec,
Or
and
is it
Jap
be-
spec goes drifting.
Would your brother and like the Sylvia have anything to do with it?
Yeah, I mean,
But again, Jap spec.
to be fair, I've always kind of been interested in rallying because growing up, Subaru was my favourite car. Like that was...
Did you ever go to the Tour de Sperns? Because it used to be...
No.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it is. I felt like maybe I just...
But you're from Desert Martin.
I
Surely
know.
they've been rallying around like the back of... Like literally at the back of your house. Well, you probably live in the middle of Desert Martin, but
yeah.
go about a mile down the road and there's just Steve Gullion staring at you.
I know, but
Is it Steve Gallion or Steve Gullion?
I say Galleon.
I think it is Steve Gallion. I think Steve Gullion's the one on, like,
That's...
kind of in the morns. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice geography lesson.
I'm shit at geography.
I think it was... I never really had anyone to kind of take me to rallies and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
The closest I kind of got to my cars was just in the driveway with Robbo, because he would never take me out anywhere. And that's why I was so raging.
Do you blame him though, looking at it now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Robbo, you're a cunt.
Obviously, I have him to thank for everything.
Of course.
But at the same time, I think because I was so young and I, like, he would have influenced me in any way possible. And I wanted to just, like, be in cars. But though the Sylvia came along maybe round about, like, COVID times, like, he had it during COVID.
Really? As late as that?
Yeah, because it was his wedding car.
Oh.
See, what
colour was it?
Black.
I remember gold wheels.
They were silver, but oh no, well he did change the wheels to gold, yeah.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the car park at CDE because I used to work with her brothers. Was saying, yeah, I remember that. I didn't realize that was him because I thought he had the van, so he had the Sylvia as well.
Yeah, he had the Sylvia and the van.
Class.
So I think that's probably why I'm kind of mostly into that, because I mean he did take me out a few times in it. I only got to drive it once, and I wish that I had known that I was actually going to get to drive it, because I thought he was just taking me out for a spin.
Yeah.
And I was in my slippers and I couldn't reach the pedals properly, and he was like he kept telling me to like send her out, and I was like, I'm in my slippers, like I can't physically reach the pedals.
Yes.
But like they're fast enough cars, like.
Oh, they are, surely.
Oh yeah.
He's saying send her out, but if they snap the other way, you're going through a hedge, like.
Oh well, that nearly did happen, but it was him. It was him because his foot got caught in the mat.
Yeah. Yep. That can happen.
Not nice.
You can also just send it out and allegedly lose it.
Well, this is true too.
Yep.
But I mean, thanks to him, his Sylvia, it was a S14.
Yes, it was. I think it was it S14A? It was a later spec.
Oh yeah.
I think it was, it was a cookie.
Yeah,
it was a later
it was a
spec.
cookie. But I, obviously because of him, I was kind of looking more into Sylvia's. But the S14 Zenke is like that's my dream car now.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm going to save up for.
Oh,
Road car or drift car?
Road car, show car.
What about both?
I like your thinking.
Have one that's built, but you could take it to the track and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because not enough people do that, in my humble opinion. Maybe that's just because I'm belly big balls now, because I was at Mondello last week, and I think
this one time I went to Mondello. I skidded.
I now think I'm Mr. Drifter, but like,
and I liked the course. That was great.
But I do think that like when you spend that much money into your car, like, and you put a lot of time into doing engine mods and all that, like, you should enjoy it.
Yeah, you should get like what you paid out of it.
Well, I understand why people are like, well, I've just painted the car, put a kit on it, like, and I'm kind of like, I know why you feel that way. And I can see why you're like, oh, no, I'd love to, but like if I go into the gravel, I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one person listens who know, and he knows I'm talking exactly about him, because I was like, are you coming drifting? And he's like, I'm fucking, I'll wreck my kit. And I'm just like, such a shame, because like I just would love to be out sliding with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's other people, and like there's other people like my friend Jack McGarry, who has a.
Well, he's not my friend anymore, Parton.
He has this absolutely mid-tacular Nissan Skyline R32.
Nice.
Drives it. It's 661 horsepower.
And it would scare the living fuck out of you.
And he drives that thing like it's a fucking stager.
What colour is it?
Grey. You would have seen it at Dubshed.
Bronze wheels.
You'll see it again this year when you.
Yeah, I'll see it again.
Yeah, like it is insane. And like Mondello Park, he's just driving about in easy mode, like overtaking everybody. And like there was other people passing comments going, "He's not wise," and I'm like, "No, he's fucking mental."
Well, he allegedly took us out. He took me out of driving it to test out his new coilovers, and I was like, "Oh, she's losing grip at like 70 mile an hour going around the flyover," and I'm like, "Oh, I fucking know about it.
he does.
Fucking know about it."
He
And then he was like, he literally changed the dampening, and it didn't do it then. And I was like,
I remember.
I'm still shitting myself here.
I remember when it was on the 550 map, before he went with the new setup, and I remember us going out, and we were coming in like on the Clockmill loop. We were allegedly doing 14 mile an hour by a factor of 10, coming into the roundabout, and it was like, and he just 4-wheel drive, and he hadn't even the car that long, and he was just like, yeah, just turned and drove in, and I was like, staring at like the computer going, what am I supposed to be looking for? I'm trying to hide my bounds here. Like, it was like, man.
Have you ever done 70 mile an hour and like a dual carriageway flight, like, you know, the slip road onto the motorway?
No, not that fast.
I know 70 mile. That it's
that 70 mile an hour that's good going. Like,
oh, it was. That was hard in the stomach.
And you're very quickly 270. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not. We don't promote illegal activity on this podcast.
No, not at all.
Anything else you want to tell us about the pod?
Oh,
I feel
goodness.
like we haven't really spoke about the pod, but we've learned a lot about yourself.
Yeah, well, it's more an introduction to Tyree rather than the pod, I suppose. Like.
I don't think I'm that interesting though.
No, you are.
Well, nobody thinks they're interesting.
That's true.
You know, at the same time, like, Michael will tell you different. Don't see him.
Everybody has a story, but and you'll learn this as well as you go through and interview people. Like, you'll also find there will be people who you'll look at and go, they're incredibly interesting and like their class, and then you meet them and go, that was like talking to a brick wall. And that has happened.
Is that what you're going to say whenever I leave?
But only when you leave though. Like, but like I have met people in the past who I was like, I'd love to get them in the pod. Like,
You'll be out the door and I'd be like, she was at there, she could offend us.
But like there's been some cases I've been like, I can't wait. Like he'd be class or she'd be class or whatever, and then you go and try and speak to them, and it's just like, well, I am so sorry I even tried to even just speak to you because you are just fucking dirt. I
would have to say, last woman we had on, obviously Taylor Woods now, formerly Taylor Carton, isn't it?
We've had woman on since, have we not? Oh my god. No, surely not.
Yeah. Well, who?
Well, Vicky was 17, Taylor was 19. No, come on now, there's bound to be someone here.
No, there isn't. Swear to God, there isn't.
I don't believe you.
It's all be just, well, it's very misogynistic, like, but, you know, there hasn't been.
Suppose, like, we've more guests this year. Aye, right enough. Fuck. Shit. That's a bad look on us.
Well,
really,
you're
but-
breaking it now, so you're breaking the streak.
Well, no, like, so, Tyree, you're the first girl we've had on since Tyler, and
That's a bad
Like-
show by us. That's 2023 she was on.
we were
Oh
the
my
one that
God.
organised everything, if you know what I mean, so
I've
just get on with it.
I've had other people who have said they'd come on and I've been let down. So,
But, like,
Passing
what
the
the point I'm
blame.
trying to get to
That's probably
is, like, I came that evening, and all I knew, Tyler, was you have a wild accent whenever you're doing pristine competitions. You know, you have a wild accent. Mm-hmm. Just, like, and that's all I knew her is the blonde haired doll who sold tickets. You know.
and now she doesn't even have blonde hair anymore. Her name's Automotive Blonde and all on the video.
And I was like, so
And
what
now
happens
she's-
whenever you change your hair colour?
And like, it wasn't that long after she changed
A
her
fortnight?
hair. Aye, and I just went, I see, I just influenced you there. Like.
Ginge?
Automotive Ginger doesn't really have the same ring,
You
but
can change your name to that.
Automotive Ginger. Automotive Lack of Ginger more like.
He used to be Scully-tastic.
Yeah, one of my Instagram names is Scully-tastic. We talked about this last night on the first
That's a
half.
pretty
And
bad
I
nickname,
was
like.
all his,
Oh, no,
all
like-
his followers be Scully.
And I have to edit that out now too.
It's
So,
pretty
like,
good.
Justin Bieber had Bleibers, he is Scully.
Have to edit this out again.
Sorry, I'm trying to get on to the main point here. So, basically one of the guests that we had on that, you know, very well, a lot of the guests we have on I don't really know too much about. Michael does all the organising, so it's only really whenever they come, like, I don't know, you're a radio presenter and like that, you know. But then
She's not
you're
annoyed,
like,
I promise.
Huh?
She's not annoyed, I promise.
all right. Oh fuck. But am I going to get a chance to say? Sorry, can we cut all that out again?
Yeah.
Thank you. Please do cut it all out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the main point I was trying to get back to there was Tyler was one of those guests where you were like, you know, land, see how it goes. Like most of them, because you know, I don't really follow quite a lot of them, and then whenever you hear things for the first time, it's quite organic, and you're like, wow, type of thing. But like she was definitely one of those folk that came, and the savage banter that we had that evening. Like she didn't leave here to 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but one of the most interesting points she took away, and you've heard that podcast, is like she said people would be chatting to her and like going all this here, and she was like they literally didn't know I was dropping engines into transits. Like, so she worked at Brown and Days in Claudy, and she was like, people would be like, oh, you know, you wouldn't know really anything about it before. She was like, I literally used to put engines into these things. She was like, the 2.2s give all these problems. They will list the problems, and the guys were just like, I see. Like, she's doing videos of the man, and her sister equally, Shannon, is like a really, really good welder.
But
so
like just savage crack. You know, like you could give her all the death of the day, and she just laugh back at you and give you even worse back.
Yeah.
You know, like the way I could put it was like literally talking to one of the lads.
Yeah.
And like, to be fair, never met you before Tyree before the night, but you're good enough crack too.
Thanks.
You know.
good enough,
My
he said.
head's not going to be able to fit through the door after this.
Well, the amount of fucking advice that's man's give you.
I don't know. I'm
You
kind
leave it
of-
out with a big basket.
I don't know. I'm kind of one of them people who, like, if I like see like sort of like potential or whatever, I'm like, I'd like to try and be really helpful. And maybe to my detriment, I'm a bit annoying.
I feel like this podcast has been like, Michael shares all his knowledge with Tyree.
But like, I suppose it was like when you were local and all, I was like, right, I do want to like try and introduce myself and try and like get myself across, because it's something I would love. And even in the future, because you are so local, it'd be a shame unless you're gonna walk out of here and go, Jesus fuck, I'm never speaking to them two hers ever again. They are doses. And that's your opinion. I'll not be happy about it, but like,
That could happen.
you're close enough. It would be like, I think it would be a shame to not work together with things.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason why we can't or we shouldn't.
Unless you think we're complete doses.
I mean, you are doses, but I get on with doses. Man's dying.
And on that note,
Fuck you.
that was
And
deadly.
all the best of the podcast, and just don't get too big that you're bigger than us.
Can we get your social medias?
Of course. Jump my own or the podcast or
Whatever.
both. Okay.
Everything.
So my own Instagram is at Tyree Patton XO.
DJ Patton.
DJ Patty.
DJ Patton.
TikTok Tyree Patton _
And Michael Scott _
Twinsies.
Yeah, funsies. Yeah.
Ooh, something coming.
And then the podcast, all of its socials are just at SheDrives podcast.
That's class. So,
Very good name, by the way.
yeah.
Thank you. That was probably the most difficult part.
Michael, what a yarn.
Aye. She can bite back, rightly, can't she?
Oh, she can, aye. And she
good.
took any of my, like...
Fucking abuse in the gym, like. She's funny. No,
She possibly was driving away going, like, 2 wankers.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely is. But I can't believe that we haven't had a girl on since...
Taylor?
I didn't realise it was... Now, hasn't been without trying. You
No,
know, there's
it's
been
just-
different opportunities which just haven't come to
logistics.
fruition, but...
Just
Yeah.
things haven't worked out in that day.
But look, I do really wish, like, even chatting to her off camera, the dedication, you know...
Oh, aye, that...
She has it in spades, and, like, you can see she wants it.
Oh, completely, like...
And even the fact she was like, this is organic, and organic growth, same mindset as, like, how I used to think of it.
And it's funny, like, looking back at the conversation we had, we didn't really talk a whole lot about her podcast, but we definitely talked a lot about, like, obviously herself.
But
yeah.
I think it's more an introduction to her.
Aye, yes, we're...
The podcast is she
talking
has a
about the
podcast.
Yes, but at the same time, it is, you know, she is the guest.
Yes, 100%. So,
And it was interesting the fact that, you know, she was in uni during the COVID times and how much
things have changed.
she's obviously missed out. And
Yeah.
you never really think about that. And obviously, whenever she's into, like, the likes of trance music, as she said to us and that, and as you alluded to, DJ Patty,
DJ Patty.
like, in the mix 2K 25 or something.
So funny.
Like, it, you know, nowadays, and even the two Johnnies said this very much, you know, in their sober socialising podcast.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
You know, like, everything is going, like, whenever you go on to Instagram or you go on to any social media things, it's all, everybody is about being healthy, you know, being in good shape, and just going out and getting blocked every weekend is fun. But then it's just like, why would I do that when I just feel hungover the next day?
Yeah,
ruining
and
a
look,
Sunday?
there's a lot to be said for that too. And I think during COVID, people realised there's a lot more to the world.
Completely. Like with, you know, with staycations, seeing a lot
and
more-
just even going out and seeing around the country.
Oh,
You know, there's
completely.
a lot to be said. But anyway, will we move on till
Yes.
the correspondence by Gold Skids One Wheel Pills?
Just before we do that,
Yes.
so there last week, and I failed to mention this earlier on the podcast, went and seen DK himself, Stephen Halford,
yeah.
and see his new car. So he
Class.
is more or less,
Her name's going to be on the side of that.
which I only found out that day whenever you were letting me know.
Aye.
But like, he's getting on savage well with the car. Callum Coogan was there too.
Yes.
Billy Yarn with the three of us. And
I wish I was there myself, but I couldn't make it, unfortunately.
okay, here, look, it was a last minute on the whim. I said to him, look, if you happen to be about and I get read up early from the farm, I'll call over.
Yes.
His car's looking savage well. The work going into it and the dedication into it is, you know, second to none. Of
course.
It'll be a shame whenever he's going and doing wall runs to scratch the paintwork on her and fuck the body kit up on her. But here, if that's what he has to do,
Yeah.
he says
he's prepared to do it.
and he's, you know, he was going, look, every other year I've had a capable chassis. He knows it obviously inside out now.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got, you know, obviously double the horsepower really.
Mm-hmm.
Near enough double it anyway. He'll be a lot more competitive, and
Yep.
I suppose it's now got the sense that Stephen he's very much a driver that is consistent and doesn't go absolutely mad, but funny.
He's a good qualifier, though.
Now,
His
this is the
qualifying's
thing.
very, very good.
See, whenever we were chatting, obviously about yourself and Mandela that week, and I was saying, I can't exactly mind what I said, but whenever we were chatting, I was like, Michael was saying X, Y, and Z, and funny, in my 20 minutes of drifting experience at the drift, or the Mandela drift experience, like I could nearly slightly go into the conversation with Michael a bit. And whenever I explained the points to Stephen, he was like, funny, I have been out at this event, I've been out at that event, and I've driven others' cars, seen the way they've drove. And within 2 minutes, he was like, right, jumped into their car and said, look, this is the way I would drive for qualifying. This is the way you drive for battles. And it was interesting to find out that although the notion around drifting is the lead line,
is your qualifying line,
and and the different styles that you actually have to drive
lead
to
line
be competitive.
Faster, probably shallower slightly.
Well, it's more so even like qualifying is like, you're going for your style,
big flex, big angle.
Whereas whenever you're actually leading out a driver, you're all about trying to nearly be quite fast while doing so.
Can I get around this course quicker than him? Is like, can I get
to try and stop him getting proximity on him?
Yeah, because the less angle you have, obviously you need to have good angle, otherwise they can't follow. But like, you don't want the big proper full sideways
you're
sweep.
Slowing yourself down and that. And
like,
I was
you're
explaining
speed off kind of with the angle.
He went even into explaining about using too much of the hydro.
Yes.
Your left foot braking. And then he was saying that he's going to be at Conor Shanahan or the Shanahan's pit crew then for Driftmaster.
Yes, very
he's
good.
Extremely busy.
Well, he deserves it. Like, he deserves it. He's no better man for it.
Oh, completely. And all going well before round one, we'll get to see the car fully finished.
All been well.
And hopefully there's no passenger seat and it'll maybe take me out or we run on it.
Well, at the bash and stuff. Well, so I have a couple of things here I wanna go through.
Yes.
One of the first ones is, so Mark Green sent me a message, and I actually sent you these videos here, and he drives a milk lorry.
Of course, yeah.
Listener to the podcast, drives a milk lorry. Adam in Snapchat sent me these videos. I just randomly got these videos and then followed up with, just want to know your thoughts on this. He goes, do you think yards are at the stage now where they can't keep up with the equipment? And this man, in the dark, yes, he's lit up, but fuck me, the piloting this man's doing, back in a tanker between like what seems to be a house and a shed through like a 10-foot gap down to a milk imparter, turning in a yard where the concrete's all bust up.
Well, that's why the concrete's all bust up, just with the pressure. Now, funny you say that. There's a few farms in the locality of me that the milk lorry, one has to reverse in from the road. In certain instances, the milk lorry takes up half of the road while it's collecting the milk. In regards to machinery type of things, like if you think about it, sort of not near enough quite overnight or like in a short span of time, things have went from every contractor having your 2,500 gallon tanker
to 4,500, 5,000 gallon tanker in some cases.
All variant tankers, yes. So you can imagine the sheer size of them. That's like realistically, what would they be, 20 foot long or so, or 24 foot long? A savage length compared to your 2,000 or similar, whether it's tandem or your big single axle.
Well, sure, you wouldn't get anything bigger than probably an F-140 or an 83060 into our sheds up there.
Oh, totally. Like if you look at a TM, perfect example. TM is, when you look at the physical size of it, is the same size probably as our 6.7 at home. Quite a substantial size.
Your 6.7 might just about get into my sheds. She may actually not.
But she's still she's 180 horse, right?
But she's still a pocket rocket, quote unquote.
That's what they call them now.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you look at the typical New Holland or Case, John Deere even, I suppose, at the same time too. They're very tall tractors now.
Absolutely.
You nearly look. A 6145R is the same physical size probably as a 6930. Now, with a bar axle on her, she obviously sits higher, or with 42-inch rear wheels. But like, whenever you think about it, the 6930, nobody would put her in front of a 4,000 gallon. There was class, she's just a bit light for it. But the 6R145 wouldn't be really much different.
So, to round that up, like, what's your thoughts? Do you think yards are
Well,
yards just aren't designed.
It's not like-
we've grown too rapidly for yards to keep up.
probably in certain circumstances, yes. And like a lot of farm lanes and farm yards, like the concrete down on them was never designed for 20 or 30 ton.
No, 6 inches, if even. Like in
Mostly 4 inches with no reinforcement. Like the amount of,
and probably lower newtons as well.
you know, unless you went overkill.
Yeah, so like a lot of lanes were probably, a lot of yards were probably done in the 1970s, early 1980s. And as you say, designed for a Leyland 2100 with an 8-ton Fraser on behind it or something.
Well, like silage, and there's a video on YouTube, Quinn Brothers 1994, and it's literally done on my farm or the farm at home there.
Yeah.
And like you had 2640 Massey, you had a 7610 Ford,
And a TW15.
and the 13-ton Red Rock trailer was massive back then.
She was a
and
brute.
she was still massive in 05.
I still remember whenever before Dad passed, like when the 12-ton Cane here come, I was like, yeah, the 12 tons arrived. I was like, ooh, look at that.
Because it used to be like, whenever the silage trailers came, it's like, oh my god, they're so tall.
Yeah.
Whenever you were a child, they were fucking massive.
And now you look at my Fraser, which is 13 ton, which would be the same size as that Red Rock, and the high sides and all on it, and you're just like, and then you see Rory's 2020.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Like, yeah, I think they've got too big. Sean D, 135 on Snapchat sent me a video there the other day. I done some laughing. So he goes over to the car, he opens the back door of the car, and there's just like a crate. There's just 2 lambs in it. And he's just like, and then he goes round to the boot and opens up the boot, and there's just another 2 lambs in it. And I'm like, is that legal? He goes, I just wanted to keep them warm. He goes, I need to take them down, like transport. He goes, I wanted to keep them warm. I went, okay, fair enough. And that thing, so when I seen that, I done some laugh. He sent me a Snapchat, done some laugh, and so I put that in the podcast.
Just for myself, Darren Finnery probably sent you yourself the same Snapchat.
The 306?
Yes. Like, do you want to know something
Deadly.
though? Like, they are never going to be wild looking.
No, they're class now. Like,
You know,
they are
like,
peak.
They are like a real. It is hard to beat. They're just a good looking car. Mm-hmm. Nice, like they're just a
They're
time
just class. Dylan Jackson sent me a 130. No way, we've been doing a lot in model tractors. Dylan Jackson sent me a 132 scale Ford Sierra, which I was like, oh, that's nice. Then Connor Kelly topped it. There was a diorama recently with a Citroen Xantia model on a recovery trailer, and I was just like, that is peak podcast there. That is class. So Dylan, although yours was cool, Connor Kelly topped it. Do you know what I saw once? I've been tagged about 6,000 times. That white Sierra at Southend and Sea doing the burnout, and the police absolutely, like, have you seen this video? Your man does it. So Southend and Sea, big cruise. Literally, people came from here, or people went from here over to it. It's really famous. And apparently they did say no burnouts, but an old guy in an RS 500 Cosworth done a burnout, and I think there at one point was 26 26 police officers standing around his car. Yeah, because they all boxed him in. It's like, yep, great use of the taxpayer money there, folks. All over the head of a burnout. Thanks. I saw this and actually posted this into the community group. Coming from, past Cathcart, just the roundabout before the Blue Bridge in Tim.
Yeah.
399 two-wheel drive with a Bailey trailer on it. 16-foot Bailey trailer, silage trailer on behind it. No idea who owns it. I thought it was a Fraser originally. But I just looked and I was like, you see an old two-wheel drive tractor with a silage trailer on?
Yeah.
There's something so cool about that we just don't see anymore.
Whenever Quinn's used to do your silage, and don't even think I was born at this stage, maybe. Maybe I was very, very young.
You said the 399 drawn?
399 was drawn with their 12 tons.
See, and that would have been like a heavy...
Oh, like that was, your diesel was full, like you really should have had a weight, a weight of weights in the front of her.
Yeah.
Like the brother was telling me whenever they went and lifted it, one of the times they used the 390, but she was non-turbo. And essentially she was completely struggling with the empty trailer. And then they were like, oh, okay, this is awkward, how's the 399 going to cope? But supposedly a turboed 399 goes savage well.
As you were saying about it, you don't really see much of them.
You don't ever see any of them.
A 6160 I think is the same engine as a 399.
It is?
Apparently so. I was chatting to a lad on site there. Here's a 6160 and he says it's the same engine as a 399.
Oh.
But I don't know if a 6170 is the same engine or if it's different again. I don't know.
Because it'd be interesting as a 6190 turboed one.
Possibly.
You know, they're probably 140 horse.
130 something anyway, aye. Did you see anything from the LZ World Tour? Did you see that drift boat? Chris Milligan sent me a video on it, but
I seen literally 2 seconds of it doing a wall run.
Brandon, someone I think's his name. He's not actually that big in TikTok. I thought
Sorensen.
No, I can't remember his name, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what engine's in it.
No idea.
I was looking. I thought it was maybe a V8 turbo, but I have no idea.
Something as random as that's kind of fucking hilarious all at the same time.
But I was watching a few videos on it and I was like, how do you change like the front wheels? And he was like, I was hoping I would never have to do this. But it's so cool. Like, and speaking of TikTok, there's a lad put up on TikTok. He was like, oh, and he's a fair big following himself. Fella Adam Doyle, Adam7810, put up a thing on TikTok saying, oh, I got bored, so I was going to just like highlight all the sort of the big names that I have on TikTok and what I know about them. So there was quite a lot of people on his list that we've also linked in with the past. Like the first one you swiped across and it was Nathan Maher, and he just wrote, how you going? Because that's the way he starts all his videos.
I noticed that actually.
How you going? He actually didn't do it in the podcast, which I was a bit upset about, but so then I comment underneath it and I was like, you don't follow us and we don't follow you, but I'm sad that we're not on your friends list, so can we be friends? So now we're friends with Adam Doyle, so had to put that in. And finally, I was actually supposed to give this in the last podcast and forgot because we were trying to get things right up that quickly, but have to give a big mention to two particular people from the Drift Games Bash, and that's Megan from Driven by Cameras and Ken from Zen Media.
Yeah, they
have both sent me an absolute catalogue of photos they've taken of my car.
Deadly.
Some savage shots, so big shout out to the both of them. Appreciate it so much. So nice to see that they've went and took the effort to compile like a full folder of just my car and send it to me. So
that is really nice, actually.
Really, really nice. So to finish off, Connor, where can we find you in the socials?
I'm at,
because now you're posting stuff.
Yes, I am. So I'm at Connor.Magoo on all socials, including Snapchat and all too. Yeah, I've now started to post a few things on Instagram. Facebook's still pretty dead, but sure, Instagram, it's all about the photos and that. And now you'll find time lapse essentially of the daily cars. And now it's not just a photo that someone else, another page, used the type R. So yeah. And yourself, Michael, your socials?
You can follow me at MichaelScullen_ on everything, bar Snapchat, which is mscullen.
And I'm Connor.Magoo on Snapchat, I think, too.
Yep, you changed everything. And add laminate slip diff for everything on the podcast.
Yes, and if you are this far in, thanks very much for listening.
Thank you to the community and everybody chatting in the community as well.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah.
It's now like 1 a.m.
It is now 10 to 1.
And I have to still go and wild butts into my Sarah to get it ready for Dubshed, because after Thursday I have no time left.
And I'm now going to try and get home because Michael decided it'd be a good idea that I would allegedly take himself and Tyree out on a drive in the Civic and try to be 20 again.
Good times. All the best, folks. Have a good one.